What's going on? We're back. Some more Counter-Strike action, and we're changing it up. Scriv has he's got rid of the beards and the ginger hair, and basically everything. We've got a new guy named Paladin's come to join me for this one. We're jumping on over to the West Asian side of things. We've now only got 2 more teams to decide, Paladin, and well, they'll both be coming from this qualifier. It's kind of exciting times because this is split into Group A and Group B. One from Group A, one from Group B. Nice and easy. 6 teams as well, so 3 per group. It's pretty simple stuff.
You know, we had a pretty contentious West Africa qualifier previously, and all the African qualifiers, where it was pretty interesting. I didn't feel as though it was like... I didn't expect it to be as competitive as it was, but it was just super exciting. And this one feels like the tier has gone up a little bit, where you look at the rosters across the board and you see a lot more players that you might recognize from previous rosters that have shown up at the Asian RMRs and minors and what have you. So I'm excited because I think we're in a really interesting spot, especially with Group B and how Jordan didn't get that amazing start that we were kind of expecting, honestly.
Yeah, no, exactly. Let's take a look at our current matchup, our first best of 3 over here in the West Asia qualifiers. We've got Jordan taking on Syria. This is actually a pretty sick game. It's going to be Syria's first game. I was kind of having to think about it, and I have a feeling, by looking at, it's 3 teams in these groups, I have a feeling that unless it comes down to like a weird head-to-head where there's like an upset along the cards, more or less, if you pick up a loss, I think you're kind of like done. I think that's it. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I see it. So for Jordan, they, unless basically it would have to come down to an upset where all 3 pick up 1 win and losses across the board, and then it goes down to round difference. It's a bit of a weird one, but this is going to be Syria's first game. On paper as well, this one could be a bit of a banger. There's some decent names in the fray here as well. Guys that are kind of regulars within major RMR qualifiers, ESL and IEM qualifiers from kind of the Middle East as well, even EWC sort of qualifiers too. So names that people should at least be familiar with. So far as well, for Syria, of course, this is their first game, but like you mentioned, Jordan lost out 2-1 against Lebanon in one of the weirdest series of Counter-Strike I think I've ever commentated. It was a 13-2 map number 1 to Lebanon, so we were thinking, all right, cool, nice. That was also Jordan's map pick, so we were like, okay, sweet, this should be fine. They go in towards Ancient, which is Lebanon's map pick, then lose 13-0, and we're like, what has even happened here? And then map number 3 was 13-7. It was easily one of the wildest series. It made literally no sense. 32, 13-0 in response, and then a 13-7. But let's take a look at the rosters. This is Jordan. You lot will kind of remember them to a degree from that other day when we saw them. IESF is probably the main one, I'd say, on paper here. Realize also been around for a bit of a while as well. But I think IESF is probably, the big hitter.
Yeah, Issa is a player that I had very high expectations for when he saw him on Hellraisers and he got that call up to OG, and then he moved back to Valorant, and ever since then it felt as though he never has found that same form that made him so exciting in the first place. A very explosive, very aggressive rifler, and now, I mean, he's made his return to GG How, and that's been fun to watch. A very interesting project, to say the least, and now he has an opportunity to represent his country and try to qualify for that Chengdu LAN, and it's gonna be tough. And again, you spoke about how it's gonna have to come down to basically round differential and Syria and Lebanon to go 1-1, which is going to be a really tough ask, especially when you look at Syria's roster. You spoke about players like Black Eagle, players like Spawns, KD. These guys have all played within the Twisted Minds organization, one that got pretty close to actually qualifying to the Paris Major, mind you. So these guys have kind of seen top-level Asian Counter-Strike, at least have competed in that environment, and that to me means that this team cannot be neglected, especially if they've put in the work to practice, similar to the other mixed teams that we had in the other African qualifiers.
Sure.
If they put in that practice, I think this team can be very deadly. It can be very scary, and we could be looking at a very early elimination for Jordan, which in all intents and purposes would be very surprising to me, because when I looked at the team participants just out the gates, I was looking at this Team Jordan lineup and I was thinking, you've got Issa, you've got Realize, maybe this is a done and dusted affair and we should just send them through to China,
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, Team Syria, at least for kind of me, when I look at them, they have a really good opportunity here. KD, 69Z, Black Eagles spawned, all FPL demons. So these guys, at least in terms of their mechanics, are pretty damn crisp. We're running through the Veto. Anubis is going to be our first map here, coming through. Beat by Syria. I'm a big fan of Anubis. I think this is a map in which, at least individually, a lot of the guys over towards Syria should know. Ancient going to come through as that second pick. We are still, about this entire qualifier, we're yet to have a Vertigo. It's become a bit of a running joke now, and oh, it's a potential. It's on the cards. Oh my god, it's actually been put into a veto. This is the first veto of every single qualifier, every single best of one, every single best of three, that Vertigo's actually even been in consideration. Now, I was saying yesterday, the funniest thing that could possibly happen is Vertigo finally gets put in as a decider and it's a 2-0, so you don't actually get there. That would really be kind of sowing the wound. I know Anders, he's been desperate for a Vertigo. He hasn't cast the new Vertigo yet, so he really wants to see it. I have cast the new Vertigo. Honestly,
we actually
I quite like it. I mean, it's good,
and Anders and I actually did one, but it was a 13-0, and it got to a point where people were just running outside with shotguns in mid, and it was very fun. It was very funny, and so I don't think it really counts in his eyes, and you know what? I completely respect that.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But yeah, we were kind of saying as well, you know, the new Vertigo, you know, this map is now, I mean, I'm interested to kind of see you got your thoughts on it. So as of, I think it was like 2 days ago, 5 years and 2 days ago was when Vertigo got put into the competitive map pool. Feels like a long old time ago. And from day one, it was despised by pros, by casuals. And then now, you know, so when the update happened, when they changed Vertigo, that was at the same time I was out in Mongolia doing an event. I Am Dallas on at the same time. In Mongolia, we were on the old patch, and it was picked once in the groups, where in I Am Dallas, wasn't even picked once. No one wants to play this map. At pro level, it is so underplayed. I don't even think at casual level is even played that much as well. I'm so surprised that Valve are so reliant on keeping this map in, because surely the numbers must say otherwise. But, I mean, who knows? I don't know. What's your thoughts on that one?
I don't know. It feels as though, I agree with you. I mean, we've just taken it out of our pug circuit. You know that from experience, that we used to love Vertigo. And I think these changes are going to be very interesting to see how they play out. If they want to continue to keep it in the pool after Shanghai, maybe it gets pulled out before Shanghai. Who knows? Yeah. But we're into the pistol, and Syria on that CT side. I'm not exactly sure how Jordan's going to approach this, considering they lost this against Lebanon, but it looks like this pace is looking solid enough to get into the A site.
Yeah. Oh, Eddie gets caught early. Not going to help as Jordan will take an early fight. Bomb will go down. I mean, this is a really decent little setup here. I called them the other day. There's a couple of different facets of where Jordan find firepower. Basher had a couple of decent moments too, but Sigma, oh, hang on. Hello. What a round coming through. And what a retake coming out from Syria. My God. Sigma, 3 kills to his name. It's a pretty based name, they would say. And yeah, Spawn and Black Eagle get the other. That's a perfect retake.
Yeah, I mean, you usually don't see A retakes look that easy, but Syria do some significant work there to just kind of bolster themselves, hold down the fort on the beach side of things, and just slow the round down. Let the aggression from the T side come into them, and as soon as that comes in, I mean, Sigma goes to work on that USP, and everything gets shut down. It's an unorthodox approach to holding onto that A site, but sometimes when you have those Glocks, you want to cut down the range, and you want to just end the round right then and there, but it doesn't work out this time around for Jordan. But they do buy in, they get that bomb plant down, and they'll have 3 Galils coming into this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing, I guess, at the very least. Bomb plant facilitates the buy, gives you the funds, and gives you the opening kill. KD again getting caught early. Same as that last round, same in towards this one. Yeah, he did, you know, not even a really too much of a fight being put up in a sense. I mean, Hunter took some spam damage. One for 2. Can he make 3? Oh, of course he can with the help of Sigma. Beautiful little mid control taken there by the CT side, and already down to 2, but Hunter's barely even alive himself, and now he's all that's left alive on towards Jordan. A Tech 9, a hope and a dream. And what feels like a nigh impossible situation with 6 points of HP. I don't think this one's getting off the ground.
Yeah, unfortunately, the idea there is just hoping they can contact out through mid once that pick comes through from Hunter. But unfortunately, there just wasn't enough bite to that. There wasn't enough aggression to overwhelm the mid players. They decided to go for a timing of their own. And as soon as they do, Jordan are caught sleeping at the wheel. Force buy fails regardless of Hunter's opening kill. And Syria now go up 2 rounds the good. That means potentially 3 rounds. And, you know, on the CT side, when we think about the grand scheme of things on Anubis, 4 or 5 rounds can just be enough to really shut down the round. So the force buy, it was a risk inherently, but Syria overwhelmed that, and now they have an opportunity to kind of rack up a couple rounds, start that momentum here and now, and basically have these M4s out for as long as possible.
Yeah, no, exactly. This round should, in the same sort of fashion, be a bit of a non-starter. Hunter makes a nade as he'll go down to 40. Not going to help at all. Hang on. Up close, yeah. Clax will get his Black Eagle for a double. This is a guy who is, you know, he's pretty well revered within kind of the FPL scene. He's been in FPL for like 4 or 5 years at least. He's won it a good few times as well. He's definitely somebody who is known for his mechanical prowess. He hasn't had too many opportunities on teams outside of the Middle East region, but he's somebody who I think has always been held in a pretty decent light at the very least in terms of his aim. Definitely within the likes of FPL and the rest. But a 3-0 start for Syria. They're looking pretty crisp, man. They're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think about Black Eagle in that Twisted Minds roster, and I just think about how much he put them in front as far as that Asian RMR went, and I think it was a very key reason as to why they were relevant at that tournament. And I think he could be a valuable asset to any European team that could allow for it. I just think it's just the location, right? So hopefully
It has to be, yeah.
he can find the ability to prac with higher level opposition and improve there on out. But this is a ripe opportunity to showcase his talents. Aggression down A main, trying to take T-Steps control, but Hunter is there for the double. Luckily for Syria, they still go 1 for 1, or 2 for 2 rather. And now we go to 3v3, but overall, you have to favor the T's here with how split up Syria is. You have to just look towards one individual to really carry them and find a double kill before going down and before that bomb plant is secured.
Just touching on Black Eagle. Don't quote me unless I'm not 100% sure, but I think from my understanding, he actually lives in Austria. So he actually is an EU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he lives in Austria. So I'm actually surprised he's not been given any opportunities, in all fairness. But I guess sometimes, you know, the streaming and the FPL, you're probably doing all right. In all fairness, especially with how successful he is in those. Out towards main. Spawns another FPL demon who sees off 7-0 for him. He's having a pretty good game all in all. Black Eagles 5-0. Spawn 7-0. Sigma 6-0. No one really scratching the surface over towards Jordan. And with a 4-0 start and the money a little bit feeble, let's call it, over towards Jordan. This is, I mean, as good as it gets, really, to start at the CT side.
To me, it doesn't feel like they're being tested, really, on any part of the map. There was an opening on that B bomb site, and they get the utility down, but the crossfires are just too hard to break. And overall, Syria just feel like they've got a stronger defense, they've got a stronger understanding of the map, and they're feeling confident as hell right now, Neo. Look at that swing out from Black Eagle before the smoke plumes. Hunter goes down for the count. And Jordan are sent reeling here on this eco. They'd love to get that opening duel, maybe an unorthodox fight to maybe get a 5v4, but instead they're playing on the back foot. They're going to try to go in, but Sprantos goes down with nothing. And Jordan now in a 3v5, and Hero AK on Bashar will have to do a lot of heavy lifting in this man disadvantage.
Spawn, Black Eagle, and Spawn sees it off back and forth. I mean, I'm going to reiterate the point you were talking about. It does not seem like Syria are even being tested right now. When I was talking about them yesterday, I said with the name value they got on paper, they actually have a chance of stealing away this group. They have, you know, their matches today rather than playing any of them yesterday. And in a way, that might work out for them. You know, stay warm, stay competitive as well. You know, that Lebanon team, they're pretty good. You know, they've got some decent names themselves, but, you know, when you look at, you know, for Vital, for example, or Emperor have kind of been around for a little bit. They're guys who are pretty solid and pretty talented, but I just think in terms of the name value, in terms of the guys who have made damage on an international level, Syria, for me, feel like the scariest in this group. And if they are able to pick a win here, it could be positive signs to them where they can maybe then pick up a win in their second game too, right? With a bit of a, you know, warmed up and confident and all of the rest. So 5-0 start, back into a bye for Jordan. And without a doubt, must-win territory for this bye just to kickstart the campaign. This is meant to be the most T-sided map in the pool.
Yeah, and so far they haven't really been able to breach a site bar the first pistol round, so let's see if they can kind of break that. And important to note, I don't see Issa on the other end of the equation, a very important piece on that Jordan roster, and for him not to be here on a very important day, I think it's a tough ask, especially against these more mechanically gifted players on Syria's roster. So let's see how that comes back to bite them, or whether they can rise up from the ashes because of that issue. Either way, Op is out for Realize, has an opportunity to maybe find a pick back, but contact through mid off of that smoke finds nothing. They've got a decent bit of headway onto this A side, but 3 players actually gambling on that first letter of the alphabet means to me that this 25-second mark, they're going to have to commit into a stack here, Neo.
This is big. This is big. Spawn holding backside. Got the AWP in support, and the AWP finds the first with ease. Looks for a second, but Spawns can double it down. Basher will get himself one, but a 1v4 is asking maybe just a little bit too much as time starts to tick. AWP picked back up, and it's a mission to try and save, and one in which he probably doesn't even get here. Tax a hold in rotation. He should get caught. He gets tagged. Oh my god, he's going to get out of there. How has he kept that AWP alive? I don't know. But is it going to make a difference? I don't think so. They can, you know, maybe buy around it. But this is another pretty simple round on the board for Syria. And Jordan, again, they can't even get a bomb plant.
It's very clear to me what the game plan is from Syria right now. They're finding a lot of information off of E-Box, off of B-Main control, and it is absolutely stifling Jordan and their defaulting. It's giving a lot of reads over to the CT side, and you can see that the stacks are pretty much perfect. I mean, it is telegraphed to a T in Syria's eyes, and they're finding the necessary rotations before even the hit comes, before a flash is thrown or a smoke either. So overall, Syria right now, they feel so comfortable in the positions that they're holding, and I think they have just a very key understanding as to what's coming. So for Jordan, honestly, when it comes to these kinds of situations, when your defaults aren't working, maybe try to turn up the pace a little bit, maybe try to have a set execute into a bomb site and try to overwhelm a site. Especially on the T side of Anubis, you can overwhelm the CTs even if they have an overwhelming stack on a specific bomb site, just because of how TV-favored the angles can be.
I think we're getting very rapidly to the point of being, you know, getting in and saying, "Well, fellas, you know, you got to change it up. The defaults aren't working. Let's do something a little bit audacious, a little bit different." They've had a pause, they've had a conversation around it, and at least I can respect them for that. Attack ball's coming through, pumping the brakes, and right, this isn't working. So we've got to try and do something. Basher saved the AWP. He then dropped it over to Realize he's picked up armor. And it looks like they're going for at least a bit of a force. Yeah. In Basher, he had 850 because he survived off the time. So he really didn't have any money. He had to kind of buy into something. Rest of the team, it's a bit of a minimal investment. And all in all, I wouldn't really see this one on paper as being all too scary. And AWP's not exactly the easiest thing on an execute. Group it up. I want to go back towards A once again. They've tried the last few rounds, and it's never worked yet, Paladin.
No, not since that pistol. So that's smoke, and then they've got a crossroads here. Do they want to respect that? Let the clock rot down and potentially lose information elsewhere on the map, or do they want to abuse it and go straight through? It looks like the former is the answer for them for the time being. I don't love it, but you know, it should be able to still give them at least some space to walk up into A main, and KD has actually left that angle that he had on A main. So that means Syria, they will be understaffed on this A hit, but they are utilizing their utility well to stall out this hit and slow things down. Razel does find a kill back, and it does put a little bit of pressure, but Spawns is there to find a couple of kills back. 40 seconds left on the clock. Jordan are just halting. They're just frozen in their tracks, unaware as to where they want to end up. And Neo, at this point, this indecision could cost them.
Yeah, absolutely. Even getting to a point where maybe we start to discuss about the potential of, do we just keep the AWP alive? I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but an AK picked up maybe gives them a chance. This is a good angle. Realize, does he clear pillar? Backside. Tax is waiting for his chance. Oh, he's going to swing. Lined up 2. That's surely got to be enough. 8 seconds. Bomb still got to go down. But that's a quick shot from Basher. He has to commit to the plant. They can't get there to deny it. So he gives them a chance. 1v2 is a possibility. He's a quad clutch on the board. And he's got an AWP in his hands as well. Got a smoke technically as well to work with. No around for fights. He knows that they've got to be coming via CT way now. Hold on that pixel. No use on that T side, on that CT side, like you said. Got a double kit. They've got to isolate fights, and they're not giving themselves a hell of a lot of time here either. Swing in the corner. We'll get one more. Basher, surely not. Deagle pulled out. Can hear the hunt. The no-scope will connect. Basher with a beautiful quad clutch. That is monstrous.
Oh my goodness, Basher. I mean, the first kill, the flick over, is absolutely insane. And I really was thinking in that 3v3 that there's just no way that Jordan could muster back into that B bomb set, especially after T4 gets the double kill to shut down the main rifles in that round. It's that shot right there to kind of get the bomb down, and from then on out, he plays on this dark angle so smartly, right? He holds on for just isolating one singular 1v1, giving him just a little bit more space to force that final player into his own crosshairs, and even still, to hit that final no-scope is a difficult task in and of itself.
Yeah, beautiful. It seems like it's spurred on the rest of the team a little bit. Sprantos will kickstart this one well. Spawns gets caught. I mean, Spawns 13-3. He had been loving life up until that point. It's a big kill to find early. How important Spawns has been. Lies, and the AWP getting another. Katie's really struggling. He is not finding any preferential fight and realize he's going to get another. This round's done. Black Eagle's all that's left. A 1v5. This one's not happening.
Well, it looks like Basher's clutch has completely reignited the Jordan camp, and every single aim duel outright from Jordan there goes in their favor. It's not even necessarily anything brilliant in terms of the calling. It is just raw mechanics to get them over the line. And I mean, they've been trying so hard to get through that A split, and previously in those first 6 rounds of play wasn't working out for them. Of course, if you just win your aim duels, any real tactic is viable, right? So Jordan getting themselves that second round of the board with ease, and they'll be able to shut down Black Eagle right here and now. I'm okay. Yep. Sure. Let's go for a left, right. Good night there. BM. Wonderful stuff from Sprantos. Yeah, I mean, why not? You know, you're down 6-2. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you can't have not to lose in that round at the very least. It was a guaranteed win regardless. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's spot on. That clutch from Basher sort of spurred them on a bit now. You know, they came into us that round. They looked so confident. They fight early. They're looking solid. And all in all, really, really good. So, you know, no complaints can be had from me. A 6-2 scoreline, and I mean, now it's a kind of a question mark about, can Jordan spiral positively? Can they, at very least, start to utilize this well? Realize with the opener, I'm looking about now, if there was a loss here, and it was Jordan, you know, I'm just thinking, you know, foresight. If Jordan were to win it, it makes that Lebanon Syria game basically for all the marbles. It's only a 4-round. Oh, so, you know, Lebanon +4 off the back of that series. Jordan a -4. It's still pretty close. So if Jordan make, you know, a dominant showing here in this series, they're 2-0 it, don't drop that many more rounds after this. We're talking about how they can potentially even qualify, even if it's, you know, the only win they get.
The 4-round differential, man, that is razor tight, all things considered. So Jordan fighting for their lives here, potentially, in this qualifier. A chance to play at Chengdu. What an opportunity it would be. Again, we talk about how global this championship is, and it'd be just huge to get certain countries involved. And now, Jordan in the 4v4 have to battle back, 4-round deficit as well. It's just T4 here on this B bomb side, and Jordan have made the right move. They've made the right call to split into that second letter, and now they've got to just execute with 20 seconds left on the clock here.
Igor going to come back forward. They might even get behind Sprantos, and Bastia going to get one apiece.
Beautiful.
They might call to save here. I mean, I know they're looking in for fights, but I'd be tempted to call this, and well, spawns will fall, and it looks like it's probably going to be the same instance for Sigma. Molotov comes down, and that's his cue to leave. Tail between the legs. He's out of there. Jordan, 3 in a row. Hey, that is not too bad at all.
A little bit of overconfidence, I'd like to think, there from Syria. I mean, when the bomb goes down there in that situation, I'm calling the save 100 times out of 10. And to me, I think that's more it's more a situation where the CTs think, okay, you know, we're up 6-2, we're winning pretty much every aim duel. Maybe that round previous was an outlier and wasn't really the norm as this map has been going on, and they kind of get punished for it. Sigma as well. I hope he stays alive. Yeah, he does. Surely. Oh, 1 bullet away from death, man. That was tight. And now, look, even though they won 6 rounds in a row, CT economy is so fragile. Yeah. They're onto an eco now, and Jordan really has an opportunity to just even this up at the half. With how Anubis has tilted over to a little bit more CT-sided than it was when it initially came out, honestly, maybe that is something to work with if you're Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man, this is... it's a bit of a calamitous showing in the last few from Syria. Oh, man, what a shot. Realize full blind, just instincts alone carry him across in that one. Spawns was the AK, and he actually will get it in all fairness, and he's going to get a kill. The bomb spills forward too. Oh, my God. He takes so much damage, though, to the molly, to the nade. He swings into his demise. The bomb is recoverable.
Very dicey bomb tumble there. But it is recovered. T4 has an opportunity with backs turned, but I mean, it is a ballsy call to push that smoke and then some, and he will not continue on. But I feel like the majority of the damage threat has been neutralized by Jordan. It is just these deagles to try and chime in. And KD has another opportunity. Again, slow to start on this map of Anubis, and you definitely want him to start, but it's not going to be this round. It's all up to T4, and he can only find 1 on that AK saved over from Sigma. Black Eagle in the 1v3. Cannot find anything. Look, man, I think he should just be saving at this point, but realize we'll shut it down. Jordan will find themselves their 4th round on the board, and Syria will finally get their bye through. Pretty important round, all things considered, when it comes to round number 11 here, Neo. I really feel like in terms of how we speak about this half later on, it will really come down to this one here.
Yeah, I feel like this is a big decider of, are Syria actually going to recover a little bit and, you know, at least guarantee the lead? That's the kind of a bare minimum now of how well they started. Or is this going to be a tale about how things fell apart so rapidly? And, I mean, Jordan, this 4 rounds in a row is a really good show. And they win this, it kind of feels like they've got at least enough in their back pocket and so little in Syria's, where the economy will be shattered. We're talking about them probably getting a save on the board too. Oh my God, that is so lucky. So lucky. Taps the smoke. 2-tap Tony over there as he just sees him off. That is so fortunate. You take it every day of the week. And I mean, granted, KD does get caught again. And Sigma swings. I don't think you need to go for that one.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward. And Sprantos will continue the good work that Hunter showed off. He's got another kill on a silver platter, and a Black Eagle, and the spray is awry. That was their opportunity. Look at the low HP bars. This is such a winnable clutch for T4, but he's not being offered up too many bodies. Finally finds one. There's the second. Leaves it all on to Hunter, the man that opened up this round in the first place, and he will shut it down. Jordan climb back into this half after a grueling 0-6 start, and now they've got an opportunity to even the odds. Credit to Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's another round, though, where we look at it, and realistically, it never actually should happen. From the opening kill, Syria just overfight, overface, and they give chances to Jordan. This is Yeah, I mean, just poorly played. There's no two ways about it. I mean, even the fact that Jordan have got up to 5 is already a brilliant recovery, a brilliant half, and all the rest. I mean, it is, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm looking at this now and just saying, what went wrong for Syria? Yes, they have a bye, which I guess is okay in the final round of the half, but 6-5 already for Jordan. I think in probably their eyes and most eyes, pretty happy how things have gone. Hunter, creeping up close here. It's 2 towards the B site. And Hunter gets caught back turn. That timing could have been better. But the AWP will respond with ease. No mid control. That's a risky peek for Spawn. Didn't even realize.
These trades coming through straight smoke spams are ridiculous. And Jordan, after the dust settles, still have themselves a 3v3. And KD has gotten a little bit of false information, clearing out dark side and not seeing really anything. Realize we'll move back over to try and clear out where these pesky CTs might have shimmied on off to. But Syria also are kind of in the dark. They haven't really found out too much information, so it's kind of just a bunch of gambles on both ends of the equation. Everybody trying to vie for a little bit of map control and hoping that they can get away with it. And it's this A split that has worked so well from them in the tail end here. Backs turn, Razel and Realize combined. And it's all up to T4 here in the 1v3. He can't get anything done. Huge confidence booster here for Jordan as they piece together 6 rounds at the tail end of the half and look to kind of climb themselves back into serious map pick. What a turnaround here from Jordan.
Yeah, an absolutely ridiculous showing from Jordan. So much credit. And again, I've got to look at it and I've got to question Syria. What happened? What went wrong? I mean, KD's having, you hate to kind of beat a man while he's down, but an awful game. He keeps overfighting. He keeps facing those first duels. 1 and 9. It's not working. I think, buddy, let's just, let's rein it back in a tad, fella, shall we? We'll see what he can do on the T side. Maybe that's where he's one of those guys who's primarily a one-sided fella, but 6-all. Jordan, that recovery from me is, I mean, that could be already enough to kind of break the mental a little bit over towards Syria. You've had a pistol here. That should shatter it. All the confidence should fall apart for the Syrian side. Good play. Realize up close with the Julies. He needed a kill there. He doesn't get it. So Sigma and Spawns combine. That's the sight.
I mean, I don't know how they got up mid that quickly and wrapped into connector, but now Jordan have to reap the consequences. Bashar finds one on the way back, but sure, these HP bars are low. It's just going to be hard to get rid of spawns in dark, and he capitalizes 2 easy ones for him, and it's just Bashar. He had a huge 1v3, but this one might be a bridge too far. Players just not giving him the fights he's looking for, and with the shoe on the other foot, and him being on the defense, it's going to be that much more difficult. And T4, he'll break that 6-round streak for Jordan, get themselves back in the lead, and show why this map is a little bit more T-sided here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, thank God, all right, for Syria, who had really been in a pretty woeful showing of things. It was very, very damning how it was going. That, for my money, is at least the real silver lining. You found a pistol. You can now kickstart things once again. There's going to be kind of a not that much of a real buyout from Jordan. So this round kind of feels like a little bit of a throwaway. And Syria should take an 8-6 lead. That is workable. But man, how bad things went. I'm going to tentatively wait for the first full buyout from Jordan and make that the real judgment.
I don't like these half purchases from the CT side. You got Realize on 1200 and Bashar on 1650. But hey, I mean, if you're getting kills like that on the P250, why not? What do I know? Spawns are there for the trade. Hunter will just scamper off with this Galil. And Syria have to start making moves now. They don't want to allow for this Hunter aggression to spiral them outside of control. And that's where Spawns will try and take the map control into his own hands. He doesn't have that second player to potentially trade him out, so that could be walking into Realize's crosshairs. And Hunter will chime in with that Galil, so 3 players spotted out in mid should give enough of an indication to Syria that this B bomb site should be open for business.
Surely, right? Versus 3. AK And the Galil in the hands of Jordan. I mean, it's still relatively scary, though. No two ways about it. I mean, they're going towards the site, which is the main thing. On the cross, though,
What?
Hunter, with one of those scooped-up rifles, going to make it sing pretty loud as Sigma gets caught. There's so many jokes I can make about his name, but we'll come back to the joking and messing around later. It's one man. It's Tax who's dropped. What have Jordan just done? They've converted basically an eco. Yeah, there was a couple of upgraded pistols, but more or less, Paladin, that wasn't really an investment. That's a bad one to lose for Syria.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got to give credit to Hunter. I mean, the proactivity to get the kill off of the A main aggression, move back over to mid to find a kill there, and then basically just get to that B bomb site as soon as possible. He is pretty much all over the map there, and he does so much work for Jordan to get themselves involved in that round. Of course, you've got to also have some question marks with Syria there as to how they weren't able to accelerate onto that B bomb site. A little bit of kind of lackadaisicalness on that side of the map suggests to me that they really weren't confident that they could have an open B bomb site, and now they kind of have to bear the brunt of that whole fiasco, really. All Glocks, you've got a couple of Deagles in play between Spawns and Black Eagle, but they're armorless. It's going to be hard to swing into these CT rifles, and Jordan looked to reclaim the lead. This is right down to the wire here, Neo, and I really admire the tenacity from Jordan to stay competitive within this game.
Yeah, Sigma, first of all, KD also as well. It's not very Sigma Alpha. I don't know which one's good. Beta, is that the bad one?
The beta's the bad one, I think. Yeah.
It's pretty beta of Sigma as he... I don't know. brain rot has got me.
We'll workshop it. We need to get a couple of those the folks that we have that love it. That Exner guy.
Yeah, that Exner guy.
He's pretty well
rotted.
versed.
Yeah. There's something wrong upstairs. I'll tell you that one for free. But it's a tough game still for KD. 1-12. Out here doing cardio.
15 ADR, man.
I know, like. Come on. Damn, like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I think I could at least get like 30. You know what I mean? Like, I'd start baiting, you know what I mean, at this point.
See, I think the problem is right now is that KD understands where he's at in the scoreboard, and he's trying to overcompensate for it, and he's getting punished. This happens so many times at different levels of the game, even at the pro level, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
So I think KD just got to rein it in and play to his spots right now. But so far, it's been a huge talking point in terms of how Syria's collapsed here. And this confidence is starting to gain on Jordan as they get a 5v3, make that 4v3 now. And now, I mean, Syria really, you've got to find a way to convert this, especially after Spawns finds that kill. This should be an 8th on the board here, Neo, unless something insane happens.
You're probably right. Hunter. I mean, there's even a world, honestly, to call for a save here. Just keep hold of what they've got. Maybe an exit, I think, is probably the only way I'd want to go about it. If I start seeing them creep walk further forward here, I'd be a little bit annoyed. Thankfully, it looks like it's not going to be the case. So, it's all right. They're just going to keep hold of what they've got. They need it. They don't have... They have enough money, right, in terms of buy, but it's not enough to be taking risks. They don't have the long-term fund and a lockdown. So, yeah, for my eyes, don't take the risk here. Just keep hold of what you got. Galil's not even the worst thing in the world to keep alive.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Razel's on 900, and I mean, at this point, you can get an op-out as well if you want to for Realize. Maybe that's the little bit of a difference. If you want to go double op, you can. And that really all just comes down to, can you save these weapons? And they've gotten that done. So, Jordan making the tactically savvy decision, something that Syria wasn't able to do on that 6-round spell on the way back for Jordan. So, maybe that could be the reasoning as to how Jordan are able to close this map out. We'll wait and see, but this is that next buy to come in. And Syria, we'll see what the tactics are. The defaults have been pretty kind to them, all things considered, bar that one eco fiasco.
Yes, yeah.
But we'll see what they can do, especially Spawns, who's been getting a lot of space here in mid.
Question what they can do, Realize, and Basher gonna find the opening double. That's not gonna help. KD's gonna get core spam through the smoke. There's so much damage, it's not enough to kill Hunter. At least it might help out the ADR situation. It's not going to help out the KD, though. I'll tell you that for free. 1 and 13. I'm going to keep mentioning it. I know it's bad, but, I mean, it's getting pretty damning. They, arguably, if they had a 5th player on the board here, they'd be at least making a bit of a conversation about this game, but right now, they're not.
Kevin Durant would not be happy with this scoreline.
No, he wouldn't.
Well, spawns now into the save. 1v5. Definitely not happening. But if you can keep this gun alive, that would be optimal in general. But Jordan, I mean, they've been on the back foot for pretty much this entire game, but the confidence on some of these players to play to their strengths is really impressive. I'm looking to Hunter off those 8 plays. I'm looking at Bashar for his lockdown plays on the B bomb site. And even on that T side, of course, you can't forget that clutch that kickstarted this entire campaign in the first place. And you've got a Jordan roster that have really come together in a time of severe need.
Tough for now. Time will tick down, and I mean, it goes down before time, I think, is the fortunate thing there. But Jordan take a little lead and get ever closer. Stealing away Syria's map pick, mind you. Anubis is the pick of Syria. So losing this will be pretty bad for the series. You go back into an investment. It's not the greatest. Tax only having a Tech 9. And, I hate to be that guy again, but AD, maybe you drop that AK over. Let's it's all fun and games, but the map's on the line here, fella. I'm waiting for him to break the streak. It's been like a good 4 or 5 rounds. I think it was in the first half he got that kill, I'm pretty sure. He's like,
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think he was 1 and 7 or 8 at one point. So I'm pretty sure it was the first half. And for him to get that elusive number 2. Nade. Doesn't actually break the smoke properly. And yeah, don't want to commit to that fight.
Said they take damage the other way around. It would have been lovely to have that nade kicked open. They had the buddy system in place to at least go 1 for 1, but it doesn't work out. I mean, huge round in the ramification thing. The beautiful flash from Realize. Hunter again on this re-aggression off of A main. Nets him an opening 5v4 for his squad. Very lovely stuff there from him. And now again Syria on the back foot. I mean, they've got 4 rifles to deal with it, but no utility. One singular flashbang to get themselves involved in this round, and 50 seconds left on the clock. It's got to be this B play, especially with the split coming in. Bashar has been a huge linchpin in terms of Jordan's comeback. He's got to go big again, but it's Sprontos to find the first.
Corner. Oh, KD gets a second. There it is. He's get traded immediately, but kill's a kill. Take them all the same. 2 versus 2 and a chance. Retake, looking for the fights. If Hunter moves out and looks right, gets the kill, then he knows they're both. Oh, Sigma rips his head off. Beautiful shot. Last man's realized. I'm actually surprised he's actually even giving it a go, honestly. Retake. Yes, he has a kit, but half HP and an orb. Yeah, get out of there. It's not worth it. Pulling away. Syria are gonna put another on the board. So 9 all. This game is far from over.
Oh, I mean, great call for that B split to come in, especially after they lost their main control. And it's very decisive in that take. They realized, look, man, it's now or never, especially when we have dark control. We've got to take it with both hands and completely go in. They found the understaffed site, and they find themselves the necessary kills. So overall, I mean, Syria, the defaults have been kind to them, but it's Jordan's mechanical ability and their individuals that are stepping up to the plate to find kills back. This could really go either which way. I know, obviously, we're down at 9-9s right now. To me, that suggests that, we really haven't decided who that clear favorite is just yet.
Yeah.
And still another full buy available for both of these players. And KD has finally gone down to a MAC 10 here, Neo.
Yeah, whoa. Big swing round here, though. Both sides don't really have stable econ after this one, so lose it. Be troublesome. No breathing kill as well will go the way of Spawns and his Flame, or Sigma Mouse and his Flame, as he finds Realize. So that's already a pretty important one.
Dude, that was 100-0. I think he sat in that the entire time.
Yeah, what happened?
That is unfortunate. I don't know how that happens, especially with the AWP. Sometimes you get kind of tunnel vision, and that's not the, and you just can't tell. But again, it's this B split, man. They've got continued dark control, and now Bashar, he's got to step up yet again. Wasn't able to do it in the round previous, but he's taking control. Tax goes down, and there's a team kill involved, and it's all down to Sprantos. 1v3 technically on this bomb site, and he's got to find a couple before he goes down. There's the first. Down to just 4 bullets left in the clip, and he can't find anything on the way out. But the cavalry has arrived. Razel is here, and KD has found another kill to add to his tally, but he's got to make it 5 if they want to confirm and keep this lead. There's another, and it's all onto Hunter. He's going to back the hell out of dodge here, KD, book it to the A bomb site, and Hunter will not be able to duel him.
It's a call that he basically cannot make. What is the choice in terms of how he wants to pull off this retake? I mean, he has a kit, he has full HP and a gun. I mean, you've got to give it a go. There's no two ways about it. You can't actually afford just to play off the back of the save call here. And it is against KD, right? In that sense, that might be a bit of a confidence booster, right? He's somebody's on a bit of a slow game. Granted, a decent round here, but he might be feeling confident. He's not being too bad himself. KD sets up passively. He's not actually fully planted for himself, but Hunter on towards the site. A tap on towards the bomb and a stick might actually be good here. He's going to go for it. 2 seconds. Got to swing around that corner. He gets off the bomb. If he just held it, he wins the round. And now a tap on towards the bomb once again. He taps him down, but he doesn't have time. If Hunter had held the bomb there, he wins the round. But it's easier said with hindsight than anything. And that will be Syria finding a round. Clutch coming through from KD. Needed. Really, really big one. And Syria the first side to lock in double digits.
You know, this guy doubled his kills, and in that whole situation, that doubling up could be the reason why Syria wins altogether. And I think Anders has talked about this a lot. Sometimes it doesn't matter how few kills you have. If you can get those couple of kills to win your team the round, that can mean everything. You've done your weight. You've pulled your weight in that sense to get them over the line. And it's a really dicey situation now for Jordan. 5-7 for Sprantos, MP9 for Razel. This is just panic stations now if you're Jordan. After all that good work to pull it back in, your backs are now against the wall. But hey, sometimes this is where they've done their best work, Neo.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very true. It's such a weird investment, but it's actually potentially a scary one if the AWP gets a kill. Bashar will, thankfully, in response. Flash going to come over as well. Utah is one of the big things limited for Jordan in this round here. So they've got to really pick and choose how and where and when they use it.
All picked up for Sprantos. We're going to move back over to this A bomb site. It's a car crash coming in. The flash is good, and Hunter has to turn away. That means Razel is pretty much the only man that has to defend this A bomb site. Aggression from Bashar has been punished, and now Syria look to claim themselves their 11th round. Razel should be able to claim that rifle and, at this point, definitely save it. 11th pretty much confirmed at this point, and there it is. Syria, it was a little rocky on their road to recovery, but they found it nonetheless. That should be a full eco for Jordan. I mean, now you're pretty much in one of those scenarios where you either force buy here, you have a couple risky buys back-to-back, or you save in and you try to make the comeback of 3 rounds. How do you kind of approach the situation, Neo? Because personally, I think I would save.
Yeah, I'm all for the save here. I'd much rather you give it a go in the full buy. They're actually kind of not, though. I mean, realize going down to a max, I mean, yeah, 2k. You don't need to go to... I know you've got a bit of loss bonus, but even still, I don't love the decision to go to the mag 7 here. I know it's pretty decent in this position, specifically indoors, but I'm not a huge fan of this. And I know the kill bonus is also very good as well, right? A lot of money you can get. You know, 1 kill... I mean, 2 kills basically funds it. 1 kill, set yourself up fine, but I'm not a huge fan of the force here on the corner of the smoke. Yeah, gonna get caught. Toronto's just pushing through. It was a bit of a risky one with only the pistol. But I'm with you. I would much go low buy here and play for OT.
Well, I do remember seeing Simple get 4 kills off of this very position, so maybe he can do it. Who knows? Doesn't look to be the case for right now. They've just left Realize on an island in mid, and they've stacked on this B bomb site. They're going to try to burst their way in. Utility looks good, but Bashar still finds a kill on that dastardly Deeg. Still an opportunity here to maybe quell the invaders, but Black Eagle will finally find a kill to break the Camel's back. Spawns will chime in as well. Spawns with a double. And now it's just that lowly Mag 7. And this is pretty much the worst circumstance you can have a shotgun in. One where the distance is the longest of ranges, and you will by no means get a free kill into the palm of your hand. So I guess save it, and you're going to have to play with it in the next round here, realize.
Yeah, maybe get some util around it, some armor and all the rest. But, I mean, it has the armor, maybe a bit of head armor, but even then, is it even really worth it? Who knows? Not against AKs traditionally. There is an M4, though, in the hands of Sigma. But this Syria now on their map pick, getting up towards map point, may I say, which is the main thing that they did need. I think, you know, one point it was looking a little shaky. They kind of did lose control of this game for a while as well. All that matters, closing out, the T side is where they've done the bulk of their best work. And I guess it probably comes down to on the other side too, Jordan. If it wasn't so slow of a start, it may be a different conversation now, late in towards the game itself. But that's all easy to say with hindsight. What matters most is when it mattered most. We didn't see this Jordan side step up at the start when they really needed to. They took a long time to get online, and while they may have made something out of that first half, it fundamentally hasn't been enough as Syria really ran away with this T side. Looking towards the buy, they've got M4s out, which is good. Looks like Realize they're going to be keeping hold of that Mag 7, of course, with the util, the kit, and the head armor. You just go for the head armor around it, but it still, for me, feels like quite a big ask. Even if, for example, Syria are to lose this round, but they kind of take 3 or 4 players down from Jordan with them, they're going to just kill the money over towards the CT side. It's a, you know, a brutal cycle that they're basically stuck in.
Yeah, it's only 3 rounds the difference, but those 3 rounds are going to be the hardest rounds in this game to pull it back into overtime if they are able to get there. And yeah, as you said, unfortunately, 6 rounds on the T side just isn't enough, right? It just isn't in this modern day. And they're kind of having to, even though they've had the mental edge in certain rounds, they've had some confidence from players like Bashar and Hunter, sometimes the T side can just overwhelm you, and we'll see what the game plan is here. Spawns to take that aggressive mid stance yet again. He's done this quite a bit. He's mollied off that close angle on the doors, so a couple of key angles cleared out there by the Syrian. And now Razel will have to kind of slow down this attack, slow down the forces of Syria. At a minute 13 left on the clock, they're already up to the base of mid. This is a tough situation for Jordan and then some.
Yeah, that's for sure. Boost, though, from Sprantos is good. Black Eagle going to get caught. Hazel takes a decent tag inside of that minute mark, and then they start to pounce, and Spawn is crisp as all hell. Nice shot. Make that 2. Yes, sir. Spawns. Beautiful. Little double tax will add to the tally as well. And I think it might be safe to say this one's on the way out. 4 versus 2. Red carpet being rolled out for the map. Sprantos trying desperately to deny as KD will get caught via that smoke. But it's a 2 versus 3. Man disadvantaged. Retake on the cards for Jordan to stay alive. I don't think it's a possibility. Long rotate. All the way through water towards main, and then met with a Molotov to make their life even worse. Tax up close. They've got to try and fight him, but they've got no flash, so he's not going to be forced off the angle here. And he could be able to line them up. Isolate. There's the first. Runs out of ammo for the second, but a 1v2. All they have to do is play time. Paladin, this one is done. They know it. They know it. They don't even really need to be too audacious with it. Tapping towards the corner. Just drop a smoke to try and get on that bomb. Do we know what it is, though,
Oh,
Basher?
no,
We
he
don't
can't
know where it
find
is.
it.
It's not planted for where you drop that smoke, fella. He will fall at the end. He thought it was the main plant. He was wrong.
Oh, that is so unfortunate there from Bashar. But hey, at the end of it all, Syria, it really just came down to that huge. It's a game of clutches, to be completely honest with you. You had the big clutch on the way out for Bashar in the 1v4 to kickstart the campaign in terms of the comeback on that T side for Syria, for Jordan's side of things, and then it was KD on the other end for Syria to kind of lock them back into place and say, okay guys, we are the better team here, we are the better defaulting side, and take it over the line. So credit to them. I think that they showed that at the end of the day they were the better Anubis team. But hey, Jordan kept it close. I'm not going to rule this series out of the question just yet as we move over to Ancient. That is the map where they showed the best promise, at least against Lebanon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is, for me, I look at this and give it a chance. I was looking across some of the stats as well. With that map being relatively close, this group's still open. I mean, we said it was only that kind of 4-round difference. If we're able to push this to a third, and we talk about a relatively even third, then we're talking about possibilities here. I'm keeping my eyes open, though. I don't think it's the most kind of damning thing in the world, but Syria, I look at it, for me, the big thing. 6-1 up, choke out the half, and it goes to 6-all. That wasn't good enough. And then when we went into that second half, again, Syria really just showcased what they could kind of do. There was these back and forths here with momentum, and I think the big thing is for Syria, they just didn't maybe have all the individuals constantly online as well. You know, KD, he got caught a couple of times, which was a little bit janky, but I don't know. This is a weird one for me. I'm looking towards the second map. I think you're right. The veto in itself looks like it potentially could have been posture basically on paper for a third map, but with the inconsistencies of both sides, I'm not sure if I'm 100% sold here, basically either way.
Yeah, I don't think it's the most decisive win from Syria. It's the one that just got them over the line.
Yeah.
You got to look towards Spawns to do a lot of heavy lifting. Black Eagle had a couple rounds of his own as well, so same for Sigma. But again, it's all flashes. There's not key consistency from them, and that's what the worrying thing is for me. I think that Jordan really does have a way back into this series. I think that they still have the individuals, regardless of not having Issa and still having an off-ish game from Realize. You still had Bashar, you still had Hunter, showing that they have the confidence to kind of put themselves on the map. And who knows, maybe we move over to Ancient and they get that little bit more of an edge for a couple more of their individuals, and they can overwhelm Syria. So I think the series is far from over, and as you mentioned, if they can keep this close, if they can keep this tight all the way throughout and maybe push this to a third, maybe win that third map, this is not out of the realms of possibility. This group could really just come down right down to the wire now.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end, though, as well, I mean, coming through, like you mentioned, Spawn's 30 kills to his name. Bit of individual brilliance, has to be said, from him. Not bad from Bashar 21. He had a couple of really key moments, especially to start things off for Jordan, but they really run out of steam towards the tail end. And this is the big thing for Jordan. They feel quite momentum heavy, whether it's for better or for worse. When they had that momentum, you know, they're very good to play, you know, chaining rounds together. They were very difficult to play against, and Syria couldn't find a way to really kind of break this deadlock. And then when things weren't going their way, that's when I worried for them a little bit. We were looking at them where they were struggling to break any sort of deadlock. They weren't even really scratching the surface in that second half for a long time as well. So it is one of those things for Jordan. If I want to see a chance for them, if I want to look in towards map number 2 and say, you know, given the benefit of the doubt, they've got to start well. Just round's going to come through, kind of no questions about it, and then we've got to try and make something work off the back of it. Rifle's got to get out of the way early. We've got to start basically trading some consistency together. It's a big ask because that Syria team are no joke, and we've just seen. But all in all, for now, good start for Syria. Questions, of course, can they continue to map number 2? We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to throw us one to a break. When we are back, map number 2 screens. Welcome. How are we doing, ladies and gents? Map number 1 was pretty exciting. Back and forth at times. Couple of question marks about certain decisions that were made and certain plays coming through. But what we look at is actually now a very competitive map number 1 and the opportunity for that to continue in towards maps 2 and 3. Both of these sides are, you know, at least in terms of their individual kind of mechanics, with 30 kills coming through for Spawns, pretty damn solid from him. So I'm hoping that we get to see a little bit more of that heading in towards map number 2. The big thing is about survival now for Jordan. I think, you know, for them, they need this victory. There's no two ways about it, right? You know, if they don't take it, that's it. They're not going to be in contention. If they are able to pick up a win, there's still a chance they can qualify towards the Asia Championships in Chengdu, China. If they lose, they go 0-2, guaranteed they cannot make it. So, yeah, it's big. And on the other side as well for Syria, they've got 2 games back-to-back. You've got Lebanon waiting in the wings. You already beat Jordan in a 3-mapper. A bit of a close, weird 3-mapper. So the question on the other side is basically, you know, for Syria, can they use this and spiral into potentially success here and success in the next one and guarantee their spot?
Yeah, it's a very weird situation for all three of these teams, right? I mean, the round differentials are so close. We could be in a situation where all of these teams have 1 win and 1 loss at the end of it all. So this game could be decided by margins in terms of how these victories are coming through. So for Syria, you want to get this done and dusted right here, right now. You want to close this out in 2 maps and get that comfortable first victory on the board. If you're Jordan, of course, keeping it as competitive as possible, trying to push it through a third, that's the optimal situation. So, I mean, even if, you know, these games are kind of blowouts in a sense, you want to keep the round differential as tight as possible. So keep an eye out for that. We'll kind of try to keep track of that as we continue on within the tournament, within the qualifier. And a reminder that a lot of these teams are getting eliminated. You know, like this is not going to be easy to kind of swallow for all these teams. And a chance to play in Chengdu, that opportunity alone is just a very, very ripe one. To go all the way there is also super exciting. I think Chengdu is a lovely city. And again, LAN play is unmatched. You and I both know just casting in a LAN studio in a LAN environment is something else. You could only imagine what it's like to play in that kind of environment itself as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I also think as well, for me, Group B, the group we're currently in, I think is actually the stacked group. I think on the other side,
for sure.
No offense to them, I think Qatar are a little bit weaker in that one. And, you know, for example, that one feels like not a free win, but definitely an easier win, kind of on paper. They already had a pretty tough one where they played off against Iran. It was a rough series, you know, 13-5, 13-2. There wasn't too much of a competition there. So I think, you know, with how decent Palestine are, and Palestine, they've already beaten Iran as well. They've got that game coming up next, of course, against Qatar. That one's probably, on paper at the very least, going to be pretty quick, right? So, yeah, you know, I look at that and say, I'm feeling pretty hopeful that we're probably at least going to see Palestine locked in for Group A. It's actually Group B is the one that does remain completely undecided. You could have already touched on it. There is a real possibility that all 3 of these teams could have 1 win, 1 loss. If that does happen, round differential is huge. And off the back of that first series as well, between Lebanon and Jordan, there was not that much round difference. It was 13-2 map 1, then 13-0 the other way map 2, and then a 13-7 to close it out. So the round difference is pretty minimal, all things considered. It's only +4 for Lebanon, -4 for Jordan. So good game here. If Jordan are able to reverse sweep it comfortably, that can give them good round differential. The other side, for Syria, get a win over Jordan. If they do it in 2, do it with relatively clean maps as well, kind of like that one, deny them even getting to double digits, give yourself a lot to work with. But we'll have to wait and see. We are live in towards map number 2. Syria starting on that T side, Jordan on the CT side.
So that round differential of 4 right now is where we sit out between these 2 squads. We'll see if that balloons or shrinks as Ancient continues, but here we go. Aggression into the cave from Realize. Beautiful little flash there. I think that was from the T's, and Realize will double down. Razel will chime in, but there's Spawns to chime back in with a double of his own. Still an opportunity here for a potential plant to go down, and will be confirmed by Sigma. And that means that the shoe is now on the other foot. Even in the man disadvantage, you could still dig yourselves out of this one if you're Syria. And that's a beautiful little tap there from Spawns. Make it a quad kill. On for the ace. Can't convert it. Sigma's there to back it up. And Syria find themselves the pistol.
Yeah, good work. Really good work. Spawn again, man. This guy is so damn crisp. So talented. Keeps showcasing exactly why. I mean, a really, really good map number 1. He gets a quad kill to kickstart the pistol. That needs to be focus number 1. The primary target here for Jordan is making sure they can stop Spawns in some way. They've got to slow him down. They can't let him just keep running right the way he is, because, I mean, he's on absolute fire right now. Want to know, as we start things off, a little bit of a lesser buy. They're going to go for a quick play here. He's going to barrel in towards the site. It's Realize with a pistol on A, and he's going to fall to the hands of KD's Mac 10. This round, I think, safe to say, Paladin, is already done.
Hey, look, Katie's right off the mark in round number 2.
Let's go.
Honestly awesome to see. Make that a double. You're already at a great point. Let's make that 3. Come on, why not? There you
ecos,
go.
King.
And
yeah,
there's your upgrade as well.
I don't know. Okay, yeah. Get those ecos, my king. I mean, I think 5 he ended on in towards map number 1, so he's most of the way there. In all fairness, 60%. So just a couple more. Got plenty of rounds to do it. We're hopeful for a bit of a resurgence. You know, I think you were right when we looked towards map number 1 from him, where because he was struggling, he was really trying to force it, and in doing so, actually kind of, you know, spiraled downwards. He actually just needed to slow down and wait for the opportunities to rise, and he kind of didn't. So he started confident towards this Swan. Pop flashing towards mid. Oh, really great. As Black Eagle flies into the fight, and Sprantos flies into his demise. Alongside Realize, he gets caught by the AK, and Spawns will get 2. He's gifted that second, in all fairness, as Hunter just walks straight to his death.
Yeah, that is unorthodox from Jordan in terms of their mid control, but Syria is there to punish in kind. Very well done in general. From Spawns especially, tripling up in this round here. And that leaves it all to Bashar, who should be looking to save, but at this point, that's not to be the case. Gives a dink out to Sigma, but the kill comes the other way. So the T start out on this 3-0 start. And Jordan, I mean, sure, it is your own map pick, but that buy round really left a lot to be desired, Neil.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There really just wasn't all too much that we can sit there and say that was decent, right? They just got isolated, you know, pushing smokes with no util behind them, so they're just dying with ease. I mean, Spawn's given kind of a pretty simple opening double there via mid. It could work. I mean, this is the big thing. You know, Syria, they have those individuals to be able to play this like a Pog, and so far they are. The pistols, they were fumbling around to get up on towards the boost, but they actually will get their kill. It's a little messy. It's still a 2 versus 2, and there actually is guns down, in all fairness, if they want to kind of move towards main and pick them up.
Yeah, ballsy call to just send it straight into A, and Jordan find themselves a way back into the round. They aren't able to recover rifles, considering they're at the base of A main, and that's where you have Tax still waiting. They're going to boost up, head spotted, so they should be aware that both of these players are still here, but fighting behind the Molotov. That's a bit brazen from Tax. Now, Spawns again has to do a little bit more of the heavy lifting here in the 1v2. Has an opportunity to reroute to that B bomb site or wrap into A from Donut. A lot of options open, but to make matters worse here, Neo, Jordan have recovered 2 rifles.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Just got guns to work with.
Oh, he's a dead man.
He's got to be. He might get around the corner. He actually has just escaped. I can't believe it, in all fairness. He's just got away. And he's rapping, but they're coming back towards Donut. No, they're going towards Red. But at the very least, when he plants here in a second, they should know, unless they go back towards B, is the big thing. Oh, he's planting 4 CT. It couldn't be a worse plant position. He didn't know, in all fairness. He took a gamble. He was maybe expecting to be in towards Donut. Doesn't matter. Jordan get there first. Little scrappy. And I think it's not so much that Jordan did so well in that round, it's that Syria just played so poorly.
Yeah, it's a ballsy call, but even in the 2v2, trying to play behind Molotovs like that, it's less than ideal. And Jordan capitalizing on the mistakes of Syria, the overzealousness on that eco, and they'll capitalize and get themselves their first. Now, does that spiral them back into a winning hand is the real question. They're going to try their hand at mid control, but edging is Spawns as they find himself 1. KD will chime in Sigma from the other end, and it's actually this B-bomb site that has fallen. It's only Sprantos to hold on, but the bomb plant will be confirmed, and Sprantos, Bashar, questions to be had here as to whether or not they want to go for this.
It's true. I honestly don't know if you do, especially now. KD gets 1, looks for another, and he'll get it. Nice little double. Or at least he's already superseded what he did towards map number 1, so we're happy. I think it was just a bad map rather than a bad player. I think it's probably the vibe I got from it. You know, a lot of mistakes, and I think probably a bit of a deteriorated mental state off the back of, you know, you get a few kills not go your way, you get a little tilted, and you know, it spirals, as we always like to say. But Hey, cannot complain. Now, 3-round buffer, Syria looking very good, and everybody having at least, for the most part, their little in routes. Tax hasn't done too much, but he hasn't really been called upon by that one instance where he fought behind the Molotov. No buy here. Well, unfortunately, going to a tech pause. Looked like we were just about to get live in towards round number 6, but we pumped the brakes briefly.
Do you have any fun facts for me about any of these countries? I know you were doing that for the African teams.
Fun facts about any of these not about the countries. I got fun facts on deck, like about anything.
Yeah. Give me a fun fact. Give me a fun fact then.
Okay, did you know that so for example, us as Counter-Strike commentators, that people look more attractive when they speak about something they're interested in, when they speak about something they're not, and it's like a innate thing in your brain. Like, so for us, we are very interested in Counter-Strike. So for people watching us, we look more attractive than if we were speaking about, like, I don't know, like politics, for example. I don't know. We don't want to.
Are you rizzing up chat? Are you rizzing up chat, as the kids say?
Especially with Sigma in and about, right? I'm Sigma beta rizzing right now. I'm losing it. The tech pause is over.
Get this man off the broadcast.
But there you go. There's a fact for you. I can bring some more next time we have a pause of some sort. In towards mid, however, Hunter gonna bring some Riz of his own. Counter-Strike Riz as he drops KD.
Oh, that's a good 5v4 for Jordan to find. And Sigma, he'll try to trade it out, but Jordan are adapting. They're not aggressing completely into that mid control. They'll hang back on a pocket side. They'll hang on to donut control and play about it that way. Which means Cave is the next port of call for the Syrian squad. There's a little bit of a dink there for the back of Black Eagle's bullets. And Sprantos will double down himself. So Jordan gaining a little bit of steam here, regardless of that tech pause or not. And Syria have kind of slowed down. They've pumped the brakes in a bit and have been punished pretty much everywhere on the map here.
Yeah. On the corner of the MP9, he'll see it off. Nice and easy. Nice and simple. Cannot really complain. And I think there was a little bit of typing in that round, and there might have been some sort of a pause, but it actually looks like it's more of a tactical pause than a technical one. There isn't the best money across the board for Syria. It's maybe enough to work with to squeeze out a buy, but at least Sigma's gonna have to take a bit of a hit if that is the case. So we'll see what they do. Finances aren't exactly fully fleshed out, but I'll give you another fact. Why not? Did you know that more Monopoly money is printed every year than real money around the world?
You know what? I believe that. I do believe that. It's not something you think about, though. You know, like you're not like actively thinking about Monopoly money. But hey.
Or I got another one for you. Do you know who's the biggest producer of tires in the world?
Tires?
Yeah.
No.
Lego.
Lego.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
That's cool as hell.
There you go. There you go. What you know with Nair, we've got tech pauses, so I got these on deck.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh, okay. I got a weird one I saw yesterday. Did you know? So you know how we like smile when we're like taking a picture. People say cheese, we smile or whatever. Do you know that smiling on camera is not a thing we did normally? It was all part of an advertising campaign by Kodak. So before that, people would just take a picture straight faced or whatever. So if you look at old pictures, for the most part, people aren't smiling in them. They're just kind of straight faced and whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's only now that we default to smile on camera or whatever because Kodak did an advertising campaign saying because they wanted their product to be like happy. They wanted people to like be associated to Kodak and happiness. So people smile for photos. There you go. The more you know.
Shout out Big Camera.
Shout out Big Camera on the one time. I'll give you another one. Do you know armadillos when they have kids? They have like, I don't even know what little armadillos are even really called. I'm just gonna go with armadillos. They always only have 4 of them and they're always the same gender. There you go.
Wow.
Boom.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, can you imagine the armadillo father just being so pissed that he got 4 girls?
Yeah. He wanted to raise the next generation NFL armadillo, Titan.
Exactly.
Already got the shoulder pads built in kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like But yeah, we were in a bit of a tech pause. It seemed something over towards Syria. I think a couple of people dropped out after they died. I saw them kind of DC and reconnect back in a couple of times. So maybe something of an internet issue or something of the sorts. So yeah, we can run through it. Do you know Cleopatra lived closer to modern day right now than she did to when the pyramids were built?
Huh.
There you go.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Closer to right now than she did to when the pyramids were built. So there you go. More you know. Albert Einstein never learned how to drive a car.
I'm better than him. I knew I was better than him.
I knew it. I'm not. I still haven't learned.
Whoa.
Okay.
Big kill from KD. Doubles up as well. I mean, those are some flashy little Tech 9 kills. And Spawns finds another. So fast pace out of the tech pause gives Syria an opportunity to capitalize.
So now, a little double entry, giving them space. KD feeling confident, man, which is good to see. And it's left down to 2, and they're just going to pump the brakes. This is actually the right way to go about it. Just call for a little pause. Anything too special, and a trade going 1-for-1 like that is fine. Absolutely fine. Still the numbers advantage for Syria.
Ooh, they've given a little bit of a sound cue. I think Hunter could have heard that. Yeah, and he's kind of turning his attention to B main as well. But here comes the play. Buddy system in full effect. Sigma doesn't have any armor, so he should be the one to swing out the first. But the spacing is just a little bit too off. And Hunter will punish and then some. Unfortunate circumstances there from Syria, but you've got to be a little bit more tighter in your call there.
Yeah, the trade has to be, the spacing was a little bit off. He got time to, little burst headshot, reset, same thing again. Got to make it a one-round game. Pretty good one, all in all. I mean, it started slow for Jordan, but they are, right back into it. And in all fairness, on the other side as well, that was kind of a no-buy or a very limited investment coming through from Syria. Talking Tech 9. They made a bit of a conversation about it, so I don't think they're too annoyed. Probably the way I'd expect them to be feeling. Spawns. In this opening fight, if you want anybody taking opening engagements, will be him. That's a mean dink on towards Sigma.
That's a good kill for Hunter to find as well. This opening barrage of utility down lane has been just terrible for Syria in the grand scheme of things, and they're going to continue to try and extend this aggression, but the crossfire is here between Sprantos and Razel, and now Syria undermanned and then some. 2v4 necessary for them to overwhelm, and with a minute 5 left on the clock, it's just going to be a long save if I had to guess. Unless Tax can somehow break this high-low setup, this is one of those that is just impossible to find the double kill, and yeah, he will go 1-for-1. And now it's just KD in the clutch. Oh.
He's still clutching. Just a few seconds after. Yeah, I think, for him, it's more of a, a save than a clutch.
Yeah,
it's more a question of if he can save, I think, is probably the way I'm feeling about this. Because easier said than done. Not actually the easiest map in the world to save on Ancient. It's a little bit confined. Not a huge amount of corners you can kind of tuck yourself into. He's actually opting not to scope as well because he wants to give away no sound cues. I think with the 15 seconds left, as long as he doesn't push too far forward, he should be fine here. Might be tempted. Oh, now he's been spotted. That'll change things. Gonna look in. Ross gets his. KD looking for a second. Time ticking. Don't die for time here. Oh my God, stay alive. Get out of there. He's going to die. He's going to die. And he's fallen off the time. He pushed a little bit too far forward. I know he was getting flanked, but you actually want to be playing. There's a reason why basically everybody plays over towards spawn, because it is the safest place in kind of quotation marks to go to. Well, tight square now, though. It's not bad.
Now you're in just like the weirdest spot if you're Syria, because $50 in the bank account of KD means, do you buy here? Do you try to get the economy on the same page? You play the next buy round with him understaffed? I think it's going to be the latter option, but again, this initial utility down lane is going to be so hard to deal with. They're just going to try to pop in to this B bomb site, and I think they have an opportunity to potentially catch players in transition. Sigma will find one and a double, and Sigma will triple down with the Deagle. That is absolutely insane there from Sigma. A bomb plant recovered, and now into the 2v2.
Doable. I mean, bar KD having just a Glock. Potentially doable. He needs some serious luck here, and it doesn't work out for him. Sigma, ace clutch. Have you got it in yet? Really good start to this round, and he has a decent position, to be fair, to be able to ice it. It's a left eye peek for Hunter, but he's going to find him. I mean, Sigma, no armor, so it was asking a lot. Honestly, though, 3 kills in a bomb plant, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I'd 100% be happy with that. That is fantastic work from Sigma. 6,250 in his bank account, so if he wants to drop over and up to KD, that is on the cards, and he will. Actually, yeah, he will. But there it is. All that economic woe will be put to the side just because of those 3 kills in the bomb plant. So nice that Syria were able to get that kind of silver lining, but it's the rounds that are important. 3 rounds to go here in this first half, and really necessary in terms of Syria, especially after the good start that they had. A lot of confidence built up, a lot of momentum as well. They've all kind of been swiftly ripped out from under them because of the success from Jordan here. They've got themselves mid-control as well, so a lot of space for Jordan to rest on their haunches here, and a lot of work for Syria to do in the mid-round.
You're right. The quiet one. Over 15 on the clock. Nothing really on the cards, at least for now. Grouping for a mid-take here. It's probably going to be a split. The question is where. Do they try and wrap it towards B? They default back towards A. A's had its problems, in all fairness, for Syria. B at least feels like where they've got a bit more of a look in. Doubling back. Towards mid. The bomb collecting taking the long routes. This is now, you know, with this sort of timing on the clock, as it runs all the way through this, the spawn, it is a commit. You don't really have the time to double back. So they have to commit to this. They've got to try and get a bit of red room control as well, just to cut off rotations, which they're doing as Black Eagle. Leading the charge, as Tack's going to be the one to first pop in towards Donut. Sub 30 seconds. I'm sure they've probably got to be expecting a bit of a play here, based on timing. Hence why smoke comes down towards main. Now they're the steps. Pre-fire is good. For one, Basher. Molotov comes down actually perfectly timed to keep KD at bay. Maybe that's going to kill, and he will.
Ooh.
Him and Sigma combine. That's the sight.
Dude, I was really worried there with how close they were running down the clock, and sending 3 players into a red room flank is something I don't see all too often, but it doesn't matter when Sigma and KD are hitting the shots like these. It's all up to Razel now in the clutch. 1v4 necessary, but that'll not be the case. 5th round locked and loaded for Syria as they find a way to win the round. They find a way to split into that A bomb site, and sure, it's a little risky, but hey, it pays off at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. 5-all. That's square. We had a 6-all half in towards our map number 1, and, you know, second half maybe was far from being even, but this one so far is pretty back and forth. There's no, I don't know about you, but no side, at least for my money right now, that actually feels like they're in control of this. It's maybe a little bit towards Syria in terms of the way in which they're finding some of these T-side rounds, but it doesn't really feel like it's one-sided at all. It feels very even, very hard to call, especially when that second half would start. Yeah,
definitely so. Realize we'll find an opening 5v4 and mid-control, so key kill to find there from the Jordanian Opper. Oh, this is crazy from Spawns. I don't know how he's still alive at this point. Getting peppered down through bullets and utility, and finally Hunter will quell him. And now Syria in the 3v5 have to dig deep. This 5-7 from Sprontos never even had to come into question. I was going to talk about the kind of difficulties in terms of the economy for the CT side, and how there's a real opportunity for Syria to bounce back and get themselves 7, but it's not really to be the case at this point, especially considering how little utility that they have, how little map control that they have, and now as more time rots off the clock, even the kind of time in the round as well with 40 seconds left.
Swing is good from Tax. Realize will fall. Time is of the essence, though, you're right. Usher's on a fight, and he will for a second, but he gets his head absolutely ripped off his shoulders. Bomber can go down. Planted opens. The best place to plant in this situation. Now a 2 versus 3 in the post plant. Numbers favor Jordan. AD looking for fights, looking for people flanking. He's going to realize sooner rather than later that there is nobody in that direction. Go back and support your teammate on site is the play. Here's them. Finds him a good flick. Sprantos will fall. Tap on towards the bomb. No commit now. They know where he is. Tried to isolate, but thankfully a good trade coming through. And there's just about enough time, I think. Yeah, there is enough time coming through for Jordan on the defuse. Close, but no cigar. That's going to be, at the bare minimum, a guaranteed tied game for Jordan, and maybe even a lead.
Yeah, you were really hoping that the player in Temple would find at least one kill to pull over the attention, but it's not enough. KD did so much in that round with the sniper. A lot of impact from this guy here on map number 2. 14 and 7, 134 ADR, night and day between Anubis and Ancient. You know, we harped on him in terms of the negatives. We've also got to lift him up in terms of the positives as well on the other side of the equation. So really credit to him to at least show this much impact, not only on the second map, but on the T side as well. It's hard as an operator on this map to kind of show that kind of impact, and you're kind of seeing that and then some.
Yeah, he's looking good. I really cannot complain at all. 14 and 7 for KD. I mean, it's actually the rest of the team that are slowing down a little bit. Spawn's not exactly electric the way he was in towards Anubis. You know, Black Eagle, one of the bigger names, I guess, in the server, struggling. No two ways about it. 3 and 7. On the other side, Hunter and Sprantos doing a bulk of the work. I mean, you look at their kind of kills, and it doesn't maybe look like it should be a close game, or even in favor of Jordan, with the majority of them are on single digits. And Bashar is actually being quite important for this team, is having minimal impact, but it's working. The retakes have been solid. 6-5. Syria want to try and get at least 6, but they've all been spotted. They now know where this bomb's heading. Sprantos, Rizel, 1 apiece. However, the response is good. It's clean.
Oh, Razel's still there on the flank, but look at that aggression from KD. Confidence to take over Cube, and now it's just up to Razel in the 1v2. It's a very doable one, mind you. He's got a lot of utility to expend. A couple of well-placed nades could spell disaster, but it just goes a little bit too wide. KD tucked into the corner, finds a necessary kill to get this down to 6 apiece. It was close. It was back and forth, but again, it's very similar to that of Anubis, where on the understaffed half of the map that they're on, they get enough rounds. You know, on Anubis, they found 6 rounds on the CT side. Here, they find 6 rounds on the T side of Ancient. To me, they are in the driver's seat and the favorites to close this out into pretty much in most of these scenarios.
Exactly. I'm interested now as well when I look towards this pistol round. I think, you know, for Jordan, they've got to try and change things up. I probably want to see a quick one. If they try and default slow, I think things can be pretty dicey. Just try and overwhelm. Try and see if you can get towards fights early. They're opting, actually, though, to pump the brakes. Sometimes he's worrying me, these sort of pistol rounds. I know it seems maybe a little loose in the playstyle, but these super quick ones is where you put the majority of the pressure on, because you give time for rotations to come through on site. Black Eagle maybe needing more than one, but at least he does get one, because Spawns is going to find one through the smoke. Struggling to cross on towards the site comfortably. Numbers favor Syria now. Bomb will go down. This isn't a bad little spot here. Realize trying to play behind the smoke up close. KD on for the big flank as well. First fight, they're lining up. He runs out of ammo. Sigma has no bullets. He actually has no bullets in the gun. He's actually trying to do with the knife. Thankfully, Tax can bail him out. There's nothing in the USP, but thankfully it doesn't make a difference. And that is going to be Syria getting their 7th on the board and starting that pistol well. It's good that we see Jordan at least get the C4 down, but all in all, round is all that really matters.
Yeah, the flank was good there from KD on those dual Berettas, but even though Sigma runs out of bullets, it's the fact that he stays alive and doesn't give away that body, which is so important. Jordan trying to chase after that very easy kill, supposedly, but it was to their own demise, basically just spelling disaster. And I like this from Jordan. saving here, not purchasing in. You know the round differential is very close at this point. Why not just play for a healthy buy in the third?
Yeah. We shall see. Black Eagle, KD. Nice easy openers for them. I'll take him every day of the week. Like you said, low buy. This one, we're not going to read too highly into it. Not expecting really all too much. Eagle should get one here, and he will with the MP9. Good money in the back pockets as well. You'll take it. And the M4 at range. Now he can start to see things off from Red Room. Last guy towards mid, and a flawless round coming through for Syria. Super simple, super easy. And yeah, this is exactly how you want to kickstart your CT side. This first gun round now, for Jordan, it's not must win, but it's pretty important. They don't, they're going to be at a worrying deficit in all fairness.
Yeah, the momentum that you can gain from a CT pistol conversion into the first buy round is staggering on this map. I mean, I can't tell you how oppressive it can be when you try to run out of the T doors into lane and get hit by 2 nades and a molly, and you're down to 20 HP in your next buy round. So it is very important here for Jordan to try and claim this one in round number 15. Mid control established for the CT side, and it's aggression down cave, a kill for Black Eagle, but the B bomb site has fallen.
Black Eagle. And around that smoke, I mean, the bomb down is the big thing. He's looking the gun. Remy actually will find that Galil. Bomb down, it rolled forward. I mean, this is now a super strong setup. Spotted in towards shelf spawn. Gonna get one more. No one in towards mid. He'll realize now this is very important. Actually, an AK there, I think. Spawns to work with. Maybe not. He's looking for it at the very least. But that bomb spilling forward is damning. I don't think Jordan really can do anything to get back into this. The crossfire is immaculate. Hunter's about to figure out just how strong it is as they all fall. Pardon, that couldn't have got worse. That first fight with the bomb spills forward, that is the round done from, you know, an engagement within the first 10 seconds.
It's unfortunate to say that, like, maybe it's hindsight, but, like, having the last player have the bomb in your sight hit is not ideal.
Yeah.
And I think that's necessarily, like, something that you should particularly calm. I think that's just something that you know, like, inherently. Yeah. But I mean, I've seen it so many times on, like, Dust 2, perhaps. Like, when we take long control and, you know, you've got a player throwing flashes and the person throwing flashes has the bomb, it can spell disaster. But they're going to try to speed up the pace anyways here, Jordan. They try to overwhelm, at least they overwhelmed Black Eagle, but Sigma has stood tall. You'll get a nade off. That's a death for Razel beyond the grave. And it's just realized left up in this. Syria find double digits. And now, you know, this feels like kind of the beginning of the end for Jordan as far as his qualifier is concerned.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say they've basically got 2 full buys, but I mean, this one is, again, now pretty safe to say make or break. If they don't get this one, we're talking Syria getting up to an 11th and maybe even a 12th as well because of kind of the, yes, they got loss bonus, but a bit of a straggling economic situation. If there's no bomb plant at the very least, Jordan are going to struggle reinvesting in if it. At least somebody's going to be dipping towards Galil or Mac 10 if they want util. These are the decisions you don't want. So you're spot on. And this is one of those where it's already getting to the position of now or never. On the corner, though, Rizal found the first as Black Eagle overextends. It's caught. Swing. Sigma. 1. Looks for 2, but isn't given that luxury as Rizal will trade. So bomb goes down. An advantage post-spot. Maybe a chance, and now most definitely a chance as Spawns gets caught. Might even go for another as well. Tax around this corner. Nade comes through. Tax runs into it. Try and make it work. But, yeah, this one's done. Tax, the last man. They know where he is. Just keep hold of your AK, honestly. Never mind.
Kind of crazy that he just tries to run into that nade. So desperate for the trade. And he gets punished for it. I feel like we're having another one of those situations similar to KD on map 1 where he's trying really hard to push it, really trying hard to get his kills back, and unfortunately it hasn't been the case for him. 32 ADR from Tax, but you know, the game's not overdone just yet. Jordan have a couple of lifelines in this map of Ancient, but another buyout available for Syria. means that this is not going to be easy. Just full swing out from Hunter. Crazy that he doesn't get a kill rewarded for that. Instead, it's KD on the other end, and spawns to chime in as well. So this time, aggression on the A side of the map has been completely wrought with defeat for Jordan. Nice little trade for Realize. It still means that there's a world that Jordan can get back into this. The Molotov is good, but reloading off the back of that is less than desired. It's just Sprantos in the 1v4.
Wow. And not going to come up with all that much. Thankfully, there is money to work with for Jordan in the reinvestment, but, you know, it's kind of now or never. I mean, if you lose this one, Syria fine 12, and then you're force buying into what's potentially the last round of the map and the series. Syria so close now to seeing this off, and it has been a story of really where Jordan have always been playing catch-up. They've always been trying to make it work, and they've just never been able to see at least enough over the line where they can keep this competitive. So, unfortunately, I feel like it's safe to call this one nearly. And this round might be a bit of a telltale sign too.
So another B contact play. I mean, it's been very back and forth in terms of the success for Jordan, but they're going to try it anyways. But Black Eagle has absolutely stepped up to the plate. Beautiful triple from him. It means Bashar realized they've got to slink on back. They've got to find another way to win this round. Realize they're going to try his hand at the Red Room play, and he will find one of the attacks, which means the A bomb site could be open for business. KD's caught between two minds. He doesn't know if he's coming out of Red Room or taking donut control, but all those footsteps should suggest that the A bomb site has fallen. Black Eagle should be able to confirm this as he pushes down the lane. Oh my goodness, it's just a matter of timing at this point. Oh, just a shoulder spotted, and Bashar will find the trade back. Black Eagle v Bashar, and a very important clutch in the grand scheme of things here. You know, this is for staying in this tournament for Jordan, and it's a matter of Syria finding a win as well. Yeah, there's a boatload of utility here for Black Eagle. Smoke, Molly, and a flash available.
You make this work. Bashar's playing this perfectly, though. Only issue, he might be a little late. He's trying to wrap on through. The spam will get it. Oh, the adjust. Thankfully, after about 5 or so bullets, goes on to the left-hand side. Jordan, stay alive. Close to tying this up. And, you know, in all fairness, the buy is a little funky here for Syria, so probably not expect all too much. That means 9. It's only then realistically going to be, what, a 2-round game? Black Eagle, I'm assuming, I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm going to say, the M4 was maybe a little bit of an overinvestment. Thankfully, they kind of dipped back in towards the MP9. I prefer him have at least money for potential of an AWP going forward. AD's actually been pretty good when he's been called upon with it. And thankfully he does that. Just the MP9. Up close, not the worst place for it. I'm not expecting a huge amount in this round. If they can get a, 2 consolation kills, that's okay. 3 would be lovely. Or would be, a luxury. That's not bad. And the Galil scooped up too.
Sprantos needs this kill, or at least needs to hold KD into A main. Either way, they're splitting into A pretty much instantaneously. Tax has an opportunity to line a couple up with the 5-7. They trade effectively, and it's still a man advantage for Syria. They should still find a chance to shut down this bomb plan, and they do. Black Eagle on that MP9. It's just Sprantos now in the clutch, and he can't get it done. It's the eco from Syria to find match point. And Jordan, I think that's the straw that breaks the camel's back there, Neil. I don't think there's a way to come back from that, especially after just an absolute collapse with those 5-7s.
That's the final nail. That's got to be it, surely. Map series point here for Syria, and for Jordan, this is probably the tournament done and dusted. You hate to say it, but this is what we've seen. Syria have come in towards map number 2, and they've really kind of laid down the gauntlet, especially towards the second half, being very, very solid. KD's got his AWP out, and look at the buy towards Jordan. It is absolutely brutal. Double AK, Mac 10, double D Eagle. Try and save face. I'm not expecting a huge amount here. It would require some serious heroics, and the spam from Sigma is sumptuous. As Hunter gets caught through that smoke, already a bad start. But at least in response to Riser, who'll find spawns, gets the upgrade into a Galil. Sprantos' Deagle rattles off for 1 as well. So numbers favor Syria here. I favor Jordan here, may I say. And Syria could be in trouble. Yes, Black Eel going to get caught. Guns picked up. They're letting this one slip. So they're about to be kind of borderline ecoed themselves. And it's looking like it's going to be the case. KD, just save your AWP.
Oh, I mean, less than ideal after Sigma gets that opening kill. They tried too hard to push the issue in middle. Reaggressing there when you already have front jag control is a little wild for me. But hey, you're feeling confident. You're feeling like, hey, you can just close this game out right here, right now, with a couple of kills back. It's, I respect the idea. But now, the name of the game is KD holding on to this AWP. They're splitting in. They realize how valuable this is and how important KD has been to this Syrian squad. But KD is not missing a beat right now. Finally goes down to Razel, but look at this, man. 27 kills from him, 140 ADR. Massive work here from him.
Kind of insane. Kind of insane. Individually, at the very least. Jordan.
Got a save here.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, granted, I'm not going to count them out though because we saw what happened a few rounds ago. Yeah, made that eco at the man. I'm saying the 5-7 is a little bit too overpowered for my liking. I'm still throwing it out there. I've been saying it for a while, and I don't know. That's actually one of my pet peeves. You know, my main pet peeve that I have at professional Counter-Strike is when the CT side force buy when they lose the pistol. I hate that, right? I always say it. But my other one is people who buy the CZ. Right, the 5-7 is so OP. Why are you getting the CZ? Doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. But
looking at you, Brian. Wherever you are.
Brian, you know you are. Look at it. 12-9. And a little bit of an investment with a couple of pistols, bit of armor here. KD should have money for the AWP, though, in towards the next round. But very least, might get a bit of distance still left in this. KD gets tagged already. Yeah, down he goes. He was tucked. They will get a trade, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. Ryzel gets 2, 1 through the smoke. And the 2 remaining, one of which is Sigma on just the USPS. So expectations are probably pretty low.
Yeah, you've got an open A bomb set as well. Bomb plant should be secured by Razel. And I guess at this point for Spawns and Sigma, just trying to find a gun would be lovely. Look like maybe Bashar is having internet issues because he's not moving at all. But either way, damage has been dealt, so I think they'll just carry on through this round. Should be no harm, no foul. Maybe a little bit more of a tech issue for the round next, but something to think about moving forward.
Yeah, a bit of a weird one. Hopefully it's alright. I mean, obviously, yeah, he's gone, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, it's what it is, I guess. It's not the end of the world. Actually, no, he's moving. So, seems like we're okay. He's only got a Glock. Thankfully, didn't make a big difference. Spawns, extra kills. We'll get 2. You take that. Maybe even another as well. Pop flashed. Eagle pulled out. Swinging. You know you want to. Take it, my friend. Oh, and he'll get it. Upgrade. Oh, I couldn't get the AWP. Couldn't get the AWP. But honestly, not bad. Low buy. Walking away with a bulk of kills like that. Money is still a little weird, though. You know, Sprantos for him, you can get an AK, no armor. Or Galil if he wants the Uto. Hunter, same thing as well. So those kills at the end are actually pretty important. I mean, look at kind of the knock-on effect. There has to be drops coming through. Thankfully, Bashar can do that. Dropping over at least 1 AK, maybe even a second. If it's like a Galil, if he wants some Uto. They're gonna have, so I think somebody's got to take maybe a little bit of a hit, is probably the world I'm going with here. Thankfully, Bashar's 7k, though. So it does alleviate maybe the financial pressures in this round.
Well, he did only have a Glock in the round previous because of the tech issue, so I think he got extra money saved on over. So, look, it might actually help them in the grand scheme of things to have a healthy buy here, which, fair enough. But, yeah, I mean, KD will get out his AWP realizable as well. So we will have the Battle of the Snipers in these final couple of rounds. And, honestly, as far as Ancient goes, Realize feels like a little bit of a non-starter. KD has been lights out as far as Ancient goes, and yeah, I'm hoping to see a little bit of a turnaround from Realize, because this guy is the guy that I kind of touted up as one of the 2 stars for Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. Sadly, the tech pause ensues the other way. But I mean, this is, yeah, it's a pretty interesting series got here. Now, you know, this has got the potential of going the full distance, going in towards overtime, just because lose this round here, Syria. Money's not in a stable state. We're looking at them having to kind of go for a really uncomfortable force into potentially could be the last round, and then where Jordan can at least push it in towards OT. This is Jordan's map pick as well, so it looked like we were done and dusted not even that long ago. Sort of 12-8 sort of scoreline, and now, yeah, now it kind of still is anyone's game. Thankfully, the tech issues are done. Basher seems like he's okay. Yeah, bit of a tough one, man. Kind of a weird situation where for Syria, actually for the first time, probably this entire game, really, that they actually feel pressure.
Yeah, a little bit of nerves for sure. Keep in mind, another thing to note, KD does not have armor. He's going glass cannon here, so a bit fragile on that end. But with this accuracy, you definitely think that he can still make this work. Aggression out of middle straight away for both Razel and Hunter, and they both find a kill apiece. That's mid control and a 5v3 established. You know, we might be looking at potentially extra innings here because this is spiraling out of control for Syria.
Yeah, this is not good. Overfighting. Spawns falling early is not good. They're going to require some serious heroics here. Thankfully, the big man's still alive of KD, but it's going to be easy. They're going to try and boost up here, maybe? Yeah, looks like. Yeah, realize will go up. Black Eagle tucked. Thing on offer. Not at least for the moment. 1 minute on the clock, though. That's the big thing. So, still plenty of time. And they're looking over towards A. They were looking over towards A. No one was there. They're doubling back. But then the elbow player of Sigma falls off the angle. That's tough. He, at the very least, actually, on timing, shift walking, he should get a flank. And he actually, hang on, he might actually get a freebie here. Realize or not, if he plays Trigger this spin, he can line up a couple. Setting up smokes and util. He'll get one. That's a big kill to find on the flank. He's going to at least draw their attention. Over, if he got one more, there's a chance. He doesn't, but he spots so many bodies. KD starts to make a move himself with the orb. Could even, I say, a fight here, and he will. Gets one. Fall away. Don't overfight, but he's now all that's left. He's got to try and pull off something, and he can't. Dropping a smoke. That's well played. They've not got a lot of time, but enough to get that bomb down. So KD just got to save. We are going the full distance, and maybe even and some at this rate.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sigma has got to, I think, personally just fall all the way back to spawn there and live for as long as possible. Because you could see how much resources Jordan were using to just kind of brush him out of that spot. And as soon as he goes down, that's where you can feel a little bit more comfortable. Hunter's already wrapped in from Red Room. And both of those positions really are the key positions that win them that round. So overall, Syria really did have an opportunity there. KD finally gets himself involved, but just a couple of small margins there between life and death for Syria. KD should be able to hold on to his sniper, especially considering he smokes himself off. Can be able to actually invest in armor as well, so that's good to have. But we move into the final round of the half, or final half of the regulation period, and Syria have not got a lot to really defend themselves with. They've got a couple MP9s, a FAMAS as well. This probably means you can't fight through mid control, and you're really relying on KD to do a lot of legwork. And actually, he opts into to drop an MP9 and not purchase an armor, so he's still glass cannon here.
Yeah, wow. I mean, credit to him. Selfless king there. Doesn't make a difference for at least spawns as he gets instantly caught. Sigma, it's got to go huge. Got to make this MP9 sing. Gets the first. Gets the second. Nearly a third as well. Damage dealt, but still a 3 versus 2 as Sprantos rotates in. It's KD's glass cannon and Black Eagle on a bit of a slow game. He's got to try and clutch this up. I think OT might be on the cards here. This is a really difficult retake. They've got to expect at least a push coming out from Temple. The first fight goes well, and so does the second. More rounds needed here. Far from over, and Jordan, a really good resurgence at the tail end of that half. I honestly thought they were dead in the water. They've recovered super well. And now, heading in towards overtime, it does actually kind of become anybody's.
Yeah, there was a couple of contact plays that Jordan kept trying to run. They kept trying to up the tempo, and it just wasn't working for them. They slowed the pace of the round down, and they just try to opt in for taking important parts of the map. You see how they try to swing out of that mid smoke every single round. Hunter finding kills there, and then A main, that aggression is also working out splendidly. So they finally found out what works for them in general, and now they're kind of taking that to the bank. They have a real opportunity here to potentially rack up a couple rounds in overtime. And overall, this T side, it's taken a little bit of time to get locked and loaded, but they finally found something that works.
Yeah, exactly. Now for me, the onus is on Syria to try and come alive, and it's not a good start. Good response though from Black Eagle for another. I just get it. He does do a decent amount of spam. Nade misses as well as Bashar sort of slightly panics there. No Black Eagles in towards cave. More about where the rest are. He's going to get caught here, surely. Sprantos. Honestly, these last few rounds, his name's been coming up a lot, having really decent form. Spawn rotating in. Black Eagle fights on blind. Still a chance. 2 versus 3. The 2 FBL stars who are going to hope to try and clutch them up out of this one. But another good post plant. Spawns gets 1. Now he's all that's left. Needs to try and get on this. Tap on towards the bomb. Swinging a find. Got to try and stick it. He's 10 seconds. He hasn't got a kit. So he can't do anything.
How?
Just get killed. Why have you not got it? He's now got it, but it's too little, too late. He didn't even get on the bomb regardless. He's got 9 point whatever. Oh no, for 5 point whatever K. Why have you not bought a kit?
Come on, man. That is really, really sad to have, because should you have a kit, there is a world where you could potentially just stick that bomb outright.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a possibility of winning that round right then and there. Even after he gets that first kill in that 1v2, could have stuck it there. It basically limits your options severely, and that is just a couple presses of your mouse that allows you to do that. You've got so much money at that point. And that could have been the difference between breaking the streak of rounds from Jordan and winning this game. So KD, he'll chime back in again. Contact play from Jordan onto this B bomb site doesn't work as well as it did in the round previous. And now they have a 4v5 to deal with.
Lurk smoke for Hunter to try and give them a bit of space towards sight. Good find there for Black Eagle. For a second, and yeah, just off the mark with the crosshair there. Gets caught in via red room. I want to overfire here, Tax. I don't think it's actually worth it. 2 versus 4. You're in no real rush. He's got no support either. No ability to trade. I don't think it's worth taking that risk. Sigma, let's put a gun out, shall we? Knife out. He was there for a second. Now he can hold in this corner. Strong position as well. Oh, they've been spotted from elbows, and now they're an own quantity regardless. It makes Sigma's position even stronger. I don't think they're really going to get up to all too much. They're being kind of choked in here. The sharks smell blood in the water. Tax will find 1. He will get traded, but will it make a difference? I don't know. It's a rush on towards the site here as Hunter tries to do it alone. Has been heard. Trying to swing upon the orb. A missed shot. Look at the time. 20 seconds. I think regardless, wherever he plants is in trouble. And he'll finally fall. Yeah, a bit of ring around the roses there. Weird end to that round. But finally, Syria, for the first time in a while, put a round up on the CT side. Kind of a bit of a long time coming. Yeah. They take it. It's good. Am I convinced just yet? Oh, no.
Well, there was nothing ever convincing about this Ancient from both sides of the equation, really, right? I mean, it was just back and forth. It never really felt as though both teams were comfortable, but finally Syria finding something to hang their hat on. That was one of those rounds that they needed to convert. Again, mid control found for Jordan. It doesn't feel like Syria really had an answer for that in regulation, and they're going to continue the good looks to get into Donut at a minute 30 here.
Lies. Woohoo! Second is nice. Max will get 1, but they just don't have red room control. Jordan are going to take a lead heading in towards that second half, and man, so deserved as well. Sprantos holding. His name continues to come up, and for good reason. And he's about to get another, and he will. That's realized basically he gets that double entry into his ramp, which for my eyes kind of gives them the round itself. But 14-13 and a really, really solid showing. Jordan got advantage in the court. Only 2 rounds away now as well from pushing us towards the third, which we never actually thought was going to be a possibility 10 minutes ago, basically.
Yeah, and it's Vertigo, which we haven't had in the qualifier. So we could actually have that map that we were looking for within the qualifier to just happen yet. And look, as far as Praking goes in international spaces, that map has barely been played. So who knows what kind of bloodbath is in store for us if we get there. And a reminder that this would mean that Jordan would still be in the competition. They would still have an opportunity to try and advance here in the West Asia qualifiers. Hunter down the lane, aggresses in and finds the first kill on the Black Eagle. 5v4 for them. They inch ever closer here, Neo, to that third map.
Yeah, what a wild one we're getting. And that is the case as well. I mean, kind of Syria might sort of hang their head in shame a little bit, right? I mean, 2 individuals are really pulling their weight. Spawns and kind of KD, but after that, peters out so quickly. I mean, similar to a degree, he's actually not doing too bad, but he's getting kills, not as much impact maybe. Spawns should get one of the smoke fades. Oh, he doesn't clear it. He was holding for it and then doesn't actually hold it when the smoke goes. Tucking towards Red Room, gets his kill. Sigma gets caught. Syria are panicking right now. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong. They just need to slow down, but they're so, you know, in their mind, they have to be getting these kills and these trades so quick, and it's catching them off guard. This round's done. Jordan are going to get map point.
Yeah. Indecisiveness, really. And because of that, Jordan capitalizes. They've been very good at punishing mistakes for Syria when it comes up. And Hunter, Razel, they'll chime in for a couple of their own. Jordan, oh, game not over.
Game is not over.
Not yet.
Not yet.
And
not yet.
But hey, they're pretty close to doing so, right? Yeah. So honestly, ball's in Jordan's court at this point to try and close the game out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Map point for them, so close to the end. And the way they've been playing as well, kind of thoroughly deserved. We're on our cams. I hope you realize the game's over. Thankfully. Yeah, we are going back in. There we go. Just fixing something for a brief second on the hard, and then we're back. Underway. Deep nade. Oh, okay. Swan's going to get the first. Bash shot onto back, though. Black Eagle gets caught. Puggy little start there. Rizel might have just put this Syrian side in the ground in this map. And I think it's probably the case. Sprantos gets a freebie. What a collapse by Syria. I mean, man, we're going towards map number 3. It's more or less guaranteed now in this 2 versus 4. And they have fallen apart in such a bad way. Sigma's now going to pull off a 1v4 to a 1v3.
Oh, what a clutch this would need to be for Sigma to reignite this team. But he's been found out, back turned. Razel will shut it down. And Jordan send us to a third map here. They show that this series, this qualifier is not decided just yet. They want to have the final word. And we'll need Vertigo to decide between these 2 rosters.
Yeah, no 2 ways about it. An utter collapse by Syria. I mean, there's no 2 ways about putting it. It was dreadful at the tail end. They were all over the place, so panicked, so desperate to fight for no real reason. You know, they still have like a minute 10 on the clock, and they're trying desperately to kind of force their way into positions. I mean, all Jordan really had to do towards the end is just hold and wait. They didn't have to do anything too special at all. I mean, credit to them, you know, for this Jordan side who really just set the tone at the tail end. I think, if I'm right saying, it was 11-7 turned 12-8 up, and then unable to close it out in regulation, and then just fell apart really in towards overtime. There was nothing on offer. Yeah, I don't know. A tough one to call because Syria, it was pretty rough. Take a look at some of the highlights off the back of what was a pretty long map there, but it was a tough old watch at times towards the end. Jordan, credit to them for coming back, but they never actually should have taken this map.
There's this issue that I have with Syria where they have very key advantages, and they try to push the issue too much. They get themselves a 5v4, they get themselves a 5v3. Sometimes they have aggressive post plants. They've got favorable retakes, and they kind of just toss it away because they want to go for that extra little bit of a heat check, like to make the double into a triple or a triple into a quad, and it just spirals out of control from there. And a lot of those mistakes compounded here on this map with Ancient, and it was a key reason as to why Jordan were let back into this game in the first place. I don't think that that T-sided comeback would have happened if they were able to kind of button down a little bit more. And unfortunately for them, now they have to bear the brunt of that and move into a third map, which is, for all intents and purposes, I think is a bit more of a coin flip map when it comes to this pool. I don't necessarily think any of these teams are prepared on this map. This is pretty much just a Hail Mary saying that let's see what happens if we can have Vertigo out on the table. So
yeah,
at this point, I think Syria are in some deep trouble. They're mentally checked out, and Jordan now have a lot of confidence to potentially stay alive here and potentially sneak away with a spot, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the individuals looked very good for a large, portion of that series. KD considerably better than map number 1. He only got 5 kills in map number 1, and he got 6 in the first 3 rounds. And we already seen a much better showing over that 30 bomb with these spawns. Again, looked pretty good individually. I mean, even Sigma has moments, but it's all well and good getting the kills if it doesn't make a difference in terms of the rounds. Take a look at the stats at the tail end, and yeah, you look at this now towards Jordan. 24 for Ryze was good, 25 for Sprantos. He individually was very solid at the tail end. But look at the kills across the board. KD 30 kills, 26 for Spawns, 24 for Sigma. They look better on paper across the board, maybe kind of bar tax. But it's all well and good if you get the kills, but they're not winning the rounds, not winning the ones that matter most. And yeah, 16-13. Jordan, a very, very good overtime coming out from them and a very good tail end. So a lot of credit. They're probably feeling very confident. That's a massive confidence booster as well. And now pushing this towards this third. For Syria, I'm a little bit concerned. That was pretty bad. We're going to start to a break regardless. When we're back, we will see you very soon. We've got map number 3 coming on next is Vertigo. Basically a best of 1 to decide whether Syria maybe even have a chance to this qualifier at all. We'll have to wait and see. See you in a moment. Well, we didn't expect to be here. Let's be perfectly honest. It was 11-7 ARB, 12A. We were thinking, all right, we're going to get this one sorted nice and easily. A little bit of a 2-0 and Syria move on forward. No. They collapsed. There's no two ways about it. They fell apart. Pretty woeful at the tail end of that Ancient. It was not a good showing from them. And overtime, it's even worse. Paladin, thoughts? I mean, this Syrian side, they completely fell apart at the end.
They have this expectation to win this game. I mean, when we were at that 12-8 mark, we were already talking about them moving on, having that 1 win on the column, and saying, okay, we're going to be looking at them to be one of the favorites, and we're going to say goodbye to Jordan. But I don't know, man. It didn't feel as though they had the kind of confidence to stay calm in these scenarios when you've got the series in the palm of your hands. Instead, it was aggression, too much aggression off of mid. It was too much aggression off of cave, and they kind of gave Jordan the game back in. And then once it hit overtime, it didn't ever really feel like they had a chance, just because Jordan had all that kind of ring rust shaken right off, and it was a completely different game at that point.
Yeah, I mean, there's no two ways about it. It was such a weird showing. I think as well for Jordan, they just utilized what was right in front of them, the side falling apart, and made it in their favor. And now, heading towards map number 3, kind of in my eyes, sort of feels like it could be anybody's game. I feel like whoever starts on that CT side at the very least should have a little bit more of that confidence, win the knife round, dictate the pace a little bit, be able to slow things down. With how the new Vertigo looked as well, I feel like it lends its hand a little bit both ways. So the T side can get a little bit more space to work with, especially towards the A side. But the C side in general kind of control how the tempo of this game is sort of played. So for me, that's why I look at that and say that's who's going to get at least the benefit. We'll have to see, though. I think with how things are, we didn't really even expect to be here. So at least for me, this will be the first time I get to cast Vertigo in these quals across all the regions. Basically, most teams have been banning it first wave. So the fact that it's been floated here, I'm relatively excited about. I get to see a Vertigo. I don't hate Vertigo. I don't think it's good. I don't think it should be in the pool, but I don't think it's the worst map in the world. So yeah, we'll be going live in a couple of minutes, hopefully, at the very least, and then we can get this one on the road in this final map. And the big hope for me, I guess, is that in this sort of 10-15 minute-ish break that we have in between the maps, that we've had a bit of time, if you're Syria, to take a breather and say, damn, like, what the hell went wrong there? How did things fall apart so badly?
Yeah, I think you really just got to realize, like, okay, yeah, you are the favorites in the situation. I think even moving into map number 3 individually, I think they've got the better players. Like, you could see KD showcase how good he is at the game. You look at Black Eagle, you look at Spawns, they've been consistent on a couple of the maps. And, you know, Sigma can chime in here and there as well. So I think Syria, pound for pound, are the better squad. But at the end of the day, when you're given these advantages, you've got to learn how to rest on them and convert them 9 times or 10 times out of 10, if we're being completely honest. And that way, you can just get this series done and dusted, move on over to that Lebanon game, and think, we've got a chance now to secure our spot in Chengdu. But I don't know. For me, it still feels like their game to lose.
Yes, absolutely. I think, spot on. I look at this and say, my worry is more with Syria than it is with Jordan. I don't think, you know, while Jordan definitely had the hiccups throughout that Ancient, and maybe the main also thing is that going in towards overtime and potentially even losing it on a map which is meant to be their pick is not the most confident signs, but I still look at this and say I'm still, like you kind of said, more worried about Syria. While the individuals look good, the mental state looked a little fragile. They looked a little tilted in terms of how they were playing those rounds at the end.
Yeah.
And it's never a good thing to bring in. So that's kind of why I look at this and say I really do hope that they had taken a break and, you know, maybe got time to, you know, step up, have a walk outside for a few minutes, you know, get a drink, just get away, right? And kind of forget that map in what should have been a done series. You know, we should kind of be talking about the next one already. And they're left to wait and say, you know, kind of, how did we let that one slip? So yeah, I hope they had a little bit of a break and they're not feeling kind of too down about it.
Yeah, I think a mental reset is so big for certain teams. I can't tell you how many times I've seen like pro teams as well, where they just, you know, they leave the venue, they just stand outside in a huddle and they just stand there and talk. People smoke a cigarette, people have a sip of water. World of difference. They come back in, completely different 5-man unit, and they can completely bounce back. They look much more comfortable, and it's back to business as usual. I hope the Syrian squad can do the same thing, where they can just kind of take a step back and just say, look, we are the better team. Let's just refocus and come back stronger. But we'll have to wait and see. I am very curious to see how this turns out, especially on a map like Vertigo, where I really don't think there's been a meta established ever since these changes have come through. That catwalk is very pesky to deal with. You've got the double entries into the CT spawn, creates a world of different mid to late round situations, and a bunch of different util sets as well. One that I'm not necessarily sure if either of these teams have practiced, because they're not the easiest, and I think you've really got to nail those if you want to execute onto that A site. So I think only time will tell as to the level of preparation between these two squads, because I think, just of a prediction alone, we're in for a bloodbath here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm expecting a really sort of unorthodox response coming through. I mean, hoping that we get on the way in towards the game in just a moment so we can kind of just see how things proceed, because with what we've seen so far, it's been such a weird kind of these periods, these pockets of play that we've had throughout being so off the cusp with it. They're maybe not what we started kind of expected in EU, where it's a little bit more kind of percentage based and sort of all the rest. It's been very, very quick. Some of these T-side rounds, especially, you know, fights being taken in the first kind of 10 seconds or so. We get an update that we should be heading underway to the game in hopefully just a moment, just under a minute. I think they're just finishing up the knife round and all of the rest, getting the side sorted, etc., etc. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see you get that CT side start. That for me feels like a real kind of priority, where you can start to at least just control things in the early point. If it is Jordan as well, their CT side, while it started maybe a little rough, it actually ended very clean, and I think they started playing off each other really well. So that's the big one for me.
Yeah, I think their chemistry is definitely there on the CT side. Keep in mind that now the CTs get to side haul faster than the Ts, so there's a real world where whoever gets that CT side at start, you can have an aggressive AWP go down for a swing and fall back just the same. I could definitely see a player like KD do that himself. But we're straight into the pistol. CT side off to the races, with Syria finding 3-4 quick kills and leaving it all up to Realize here in the 1v2.
Not good. What has even happened is chaos. 1v2. Or realize. How do you make this one work, fella? This is not the easiest. Sigma's low. That's the one benefit. He's trying to get up close as well. He's got the run of the... He might have spotted the shoulder. No, he doesn't. Pop shot going to come through from spawns. Doesn't want to overface. Doesn't have to. Sigma will see it off. Syria. They play that well. They just don't give him the chance to isolate fights. That's basically all you can ask. So, first run on the board for that CT side is Syria.
It looked like there was just a straight up B rush there with the late mid lurk from Realize, and a 3 stack on the B bomb side means that Syria just have too many bodies to overwhelm Jordan, and denying the bomb plant means things look good for them to start racking up rounds here on this CT side. We spoke about the advantage to having the defensive start, and you can see straight away just swings down side hall, but the main hit's coming through mid. It's a farm central for both spawns and tax. There's actually a team kill for Razel as well, and Syria will have a clean sheet in round number 2 and rack up quite a bit of cash as well on the way out.
We can't complain. We can't complain about that one at all. 2-0 start, nice and easy, and I mean, well, again, Jordan into the first full buy. They can kind of forget that previous one. It was a bit of a nothing, bit of a throwaway. But we are essentially now in kind of best of one territory for what potentially even could be qualification. You know, each and every round is so important. Wins, you know, you can qualify with just the one win. For Jordan, they picked up a loss, of course, to Lebanon in their first game. So a win here with decent round differential. Who knows what can happen? If Syria pick it up, it goes with them heading in towards their second series. So important. Flash off the first. Quickly traded by KD. 1 minute 30 on the clock. You know, fights already in the first 20 seconds.
What?
But they're going favorably towards Syria, who now have the numbers advantage, and Hunter's tagged as well. He ate that nade.
Yeah. Now, what do you do if you're Jordan? Minute 15 left on the clock. You can still recongregate and go back in A main. But I will say, man, Syria don't look like they've done too much practice on the map. Lineup's taking a little bit too long. They don't have the bottom ramp smoke off of cooldown. And right now, the ball's in Jordan's court to find a response. They will try to trade effectively up the ramp, I'd like to think. Okay, never mind. They're actually going to move back over to that B bomb site. But there's a thorn in the side. Spawns is here. Where is Spawns right now? Because it seems to me that he's on the flank. He's in T-spawn, and he finds himself a quick double. Spots out the third as well, and KD's there to chime in. So, wonderful round there from Syria, regardless of the utility mishaps. But all things considered, solid round from them. Yeah,
and now, again, first gun round that doesn't go favorably over towards Jordan. Gonna really hurt the mental state to a degree, right? They've come in with the AKs. They've been pretty immediately decimated too. You know, first kill was in the first 8 seconds or so. Second kill's about 4 or 5 seconds after that. I mean, they're not even getting time to decide how they want to play this, and that's the thing that I think's really gotta hurt. But 3-0 towards Syria. Jordan gonna go for a little bit of a quicker play. Too sure to how much success that one will be.
Oh, I thought that nade would have found the mark, but to no avail. Oh, that's a big sound cue to give there. They should be aware of this B hit coming, but actually KD is pretty far away. Still will find the opening 5v4 and should be wary that there could be more terrorists on the way. I slow the pace down Jordan to a crawl. And at this point, they just want to make these deagles work, or deagle from Realize. Hasn't been able to find anything just yet. KD still has quite a bit of a shooting range. Realize we'll find one, and there's a flash to cut down the range, but here Spawns with the crossfire, and KD now can fire down range with that sniper rifle, and it's just Realize in the 1v4.
Stuff. Can't complain, really. Last man, I Realize, yeah, I mean, is it worth saving? I don't think so. Trying to have a look around. He's probably, as he wraps around the corner, gonna get spotted sooner rather than later. You don't want to stay alive. That's the main thing. He actually does want to go down. That's it. 4-0. Nice and simple. Syria, you can't complain about this at all. I mean, for Jordan, again, coming back in towards this gun round, similar sort of vibe here. Simple as Paladin. It kind of has to be converted. But we said this to a degree in towards map number 2, and we know how that went. So I'm not going to completely count them out just yet. There's still these things where for Syria, they can kind of fall apart quite quickly.
And I mean, we've seen how many times Jordan has fallen apart, has had slow starts rather, and have come back into these games regardless. So I wouldn't count them out just yet, especially when Realize can find entries like that. That head-to-head sniper rifle battle has been going pretty firmly in the favor of the Syrian, but this time around, Jordan find themselves a 5v4 of their own. And a little bit of ramp control as well, a little bit of respect from Syria being given.
How what, though? Is the question that I ask. Sprantos holding with the team for a little bit of a push, which I don't think they're going to get. There's no real round progression going to come through here with a numbers disadvantage for Syria. Again, though, Molotov going to come over. That's at least going to bait out one fight. One of which they'll absolutely take. Smoke comes down, simply put. It's now a known quantity, but it's a strong angle to hold. Black Eagle trying to get out. And trying to take one before he does, which isn't actually terrible.
Leaves a lot onto the side anchor here. Oh, and that's a big kill for attacks to find. That shuts down the mid lurk as well, which means the A hit has to come from these 3 players straight away. Here's that new catwalk, Sprantos to duel into Sigma, and he finds the necessary kill. He can now aggress into CT if he wants to, but they've not cleared their corners. Spawns, shuts down the bomb plant. But Sprantos, he continues to run rampant in the back lines of this A site, and he'll double down. Jordan find themselves their first round.
Yeah, finally as well, right? They needed it. They absolutely needed it. So I'm glad that they've got it. I'm glad that now they can kind of build upon this. There will be a buy right back in, though, for Syria coming through. So no real questions. Of course, they even get the AWP out in play as well. KD's been much, much better in the start of this map as he was to the first. Of course, he's kind of continuing off the back of a really, really good map number 2. And we kind of said it, right? He had a good map. Oh, Spawns had a good map, but still, it didn't give them the win. That's a misnade. Sigma going to punish Sprantos with a smoke. Just spam is good enough.
Yeah, that's a nice 5v4 to find. Sometimes the luck does go your way, and it goes the other way as well. Realize we'll find one straight through the smoke onto Sigma. And now we've got a 4v4. Lovely work there from the Jordanian operator. Key openings to find to keep Jordan involved in these rounds. And he's still hungry for more. Still scoped up on the bottom to clear out bottom yellow, but doesn't find anything. We'll just fall away. It looks like B, and potentially B split might be a better option for them.
Okay. We're a fight. Trying to spam through that smoke, but nothing really off here. They're grouping towards stairs is the big one. We'll come over. Still go up as well. Sure looks back towards default, doesn't spot anything. If he holds down the fort, he might catch one in rotation, but he makes a move just a little bit too early. Spawns rotates over, gets one, lines up 2, and that should be the round. Surely the 4th is there. Rise will trade, but it's not going to make a difference. Or did I speak too soon? Time's ticking, though. That's the big one for me. Smoke will come down. Might give him coverage on the cross. Rizal. Oh, my God. Thankfully, Black Eagle was there. That was way too close for comfort.
I mean, Spawn's getting a triple kill there should be over and done with. But the fact that he brings that down to a 1v1, Rizal should be very happy with that, for sure. This is that kill through the smoke from Realize. Actually ridiculous to catch those tracers. Spawns. Again, this is that triple. I mean, full blind. I didn't really imagine that to happen the way it did, but as long as the op is recovered, it should be alright. And now, a weird situation for Jordan. 2 MAC-10s for Rizal and Realize. And I would have liked for them to up the tempo with those SMGs, but instead, they've kind of been halted by this early utility, which worries me.
Yeah. Well, Black Eagle for the first. Simple as. Deep smoke into towards ramp. And a nade as well, just to meet Rizel with his Mach 10. Already a good start for Syria. I mean, God, decent damage in all fairness have been dealt. Swing in the corner of mid as Hunter, he takes a bit of damage, but he'll get that kill. That's what matters. Brings it back to now a more doable 4 versus 4.
Chum spotting here on the T sandbags to get a little bit of instant information, and they do get it. There's an availability for a smoke to be dropped as well, and he will. But it's just him. I mean, he's got Black Eagle to support alongside Sigma, so actually, never mind. There are 2 players here to greet them, but that smoke has a gap in it. It's not the cleanest one. So if they double swing out, there is still a world where Jordan can trade effectively. And there's Bashar. He'll find the one. And now Sigma has to fall back. He cannot trade. 35 seconds left on the clock. And Jordan, they want to extend into this A bomb site.
Gonna start to make a little move here if they can, but on the cross, it's always dicey. One above as well as Sigma. Last man spotted with the AWP, and KD will seat him off into that brief 1 versus 1. It's Syria. You see the round in their favor. Extend the lead once again. 5 rounds. It's a pretty decent little buffer that you now work. And I think for Jordan, you know, no bomb plant is really going to hurt the finances. You got a hero AK. And then a few upgrades. Nothing too major. Seems like they're actually going to go for their full buy, though, if they can. So, double AK setup. Galil coming through. Back to a Deagle to round out the troop. It's not the worst buy in the world. It's not the greatest either. But I think their economy is sort of all over the place. They've kind of got to try and reset it as best they can. They're trying to go quick. And it might just work for the first. Hunter will get it, but he gets traded immediately as they now start to try and barrel in.
I was so worried about some aggression from Sidehall that they don't clear the site itself. And now, the round slows down a little bit too much for my liking. Gives an opportunity for KD to strike on the B side of the map. And now, Jordan, they don't have any extremity players to bail them out. It's got to be this pack to solve the problem. And maybe a lucky spam or 2 to maybe get them involved. Oh, that Glock actually finds a significant bit of damage, but spawns. Beautiful little burst there from him. Now, Sprontos on that low HP has got to make it possible. You know, I don't mind the continued purchase this year, especially considering it came down to 1v1s in both of those rounds, but now that risk is kind of biting back. You're now down 7-1 if this round does convert for Syria's favor, and that means maybe 8-1 as well. So Jordan in probably the worst start that they could probably have in all 3 maps combined.
Yeah, agreed. Quiet. The last 20-ish seconds. Smoke will come down probably in the best possible place that you could put it. And that will see the route off. AK for Sprantos is basically all that they're going to save here. He is going top for the save, though. I think that's probably the right call. But yeah, not a bad little spot. Not at all. 6-1. Now made 7. Very, very solid vertigo. And it, again, makes you question just what went wrong at the tail end for Syria in map number 2. How was this one not closed out in kind of regulation and all the rest, right? They should have been. It wasn't. And it did leave us asking a lot of question marks heading in towards map number 3. Thankfully, though, we kind of put ourselves once again in a pretty decent position for Syria. You know, it's a 6-round buffer zone. They've guaranteed a lead at the very least. If they get anywhere near double digits, I'm going to be super worried for Jordan that it might already be kind of game, set, and match.
Yeah, I don't like the repurchase here again, but they're going to try their hand. Black Eagles, crate spam into Realizer. And now, Jordan, I mean, this is just talk between a rock and a hard place. Hunter, beautiful little tap readjustment there on attacks. And Sobrantos will find one off the op of Realize. And now, Jordan have a man advantage. Maybe even another spawns. That's really bold. I don't necessarily know why he's doing that, but I mean, that means a 4v2 for Jordan. They've been gifted a way back in, and Neo, this is another situation where I thought about the time previous. I mean,
yeah,
You think about the loss on Ancient and how close Anubis got. I mean, these were the kinds of rounds that were because of it.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, what do you do, really? So, keep hold of what you've got. I mean, they actually maybe combine. No, not really. It's not actually going to be a nice enough econ situation. Yeah, it's not really a nice enough econ situation to buy here. I can't lie. An M4, it's basically it. We'll see. We shall see. But 1v3. He's trying to stay alive with the M4. He's struggling to do so. But I think he should be hunted on the tail end here. I don't know if he'll survive at the end. Swing in the corner. Intensely watching the minimap, but he actually does. He actually does. Let's see. 7-2. Now what do we work with? Can they spiral a little bit at the tail end? There's a big thing I'm asking for them. If they can get up towards 4 rounds, it's doable. 5 is potentially a position that I can look at where maybe there's something on the cards. That'd be great. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. Syria can very easily respond right back. Maybe not this round, though. This is the round which I feel like is pretty much a bit of a non-starter.
Definitely so. It feels as though Jordan still have a way back in. They still have a chance. These continued buys, I didn't necessarily like it, but I mean, I think there's really a shot here for them to come back into it. And you look at the buy on Syria's end, it's not pretty. You've got to look to Sigma to maybe find you an opening, which, I mean, he's not necessarily a guy that is just taking over the game, so we'll see. Oh, I think his shoulder was spotted by Bashar. Maybe? No, I guess not.
I felt like, yeah, or like a mini-map would have at least pinged it or something. It seems like not, because the reaction was tempered to nothing. These are the rounds that I'm not going to sleep on, because we've already seen a few of these kind of converted. The AK can get like 1 or 2 kills and just drop a gun. Rounds on P250. Oh my god, he's not cleared it. I thought he looked directly at him. I was sure the minimap, I thought it would have pinged it. It didn't. So KD does get 1. He's still alive. Same can't be said for Spawn, for the rifle, for everybody now, as well as it's kind of falling apart.
Just Black Eagle now on this USP. And that bomb will go down as well. So Black Eagle most likely will not be able to find an extra gun here, I'd like to think. And he will play out the entire bomb timer. Come on, man. It's just a USP.
If you can pick up a gun, it's okay. Can't. Yeah, what's the point, man?
Save the molly.
Oh, there you go. He's got a Galil. It's actually not the worst thing in the world.
And this is a decent save now.
See, though. Anything at the end? I don't think it's going to be the case. Probably not. We will keep out of that Galil. There's a small silver lining. It is what it is. 7-3, though. That round was a bit of a throwaway, but even still, for Jordan, they're giving themselves some foundations to work off. There's no real complaints, at least in my eyes. If they can get, like I said, up towards 5, I'm really happy. 4, it's workable, it's feasible. Any less, you know, if it still ends 9-3, I'm not going to sit here and be massively too happy about it. So we'll see. I'm going to come out for KD. Rifles across the board as well. Maybe a little bit limited on the util, but all in all, I get this. There's some firepower there.
Yeah, absolutely. KD down, that AWP not had the same amount of potency as Realize on the other end. And he's been significant in terms of the entries. But, I mean, at this point, how ridiculous would it be if Jordan could get just another comeback?
Oh, Hunter. Finds Tax. Nice little boost and a find there. Smoke going to come out of Lurk. Smoke to give them mid control. 3 versus 5, yeah. If Jordan can pull off another comeback, that would be kind of insane. Boosted Sigma. First and a second, that's huge. And he actually doesn't get traded out of the orb. Okay, now we're cooking. 3 versus 3 with Hunter so low. A real chance. KD goes back in towards mid. Spots nothing. He's dancing between those 2 angles. So it's not exactly like he's got a lot of information to work off. You can see he's sort of on edge. Yeah, weird too. Look, they're going to commit towards A. KD's in the right spot for it.
Oh, big kill for Hunter to find, even on that low HP, still finding impact. And now aggression through that new opening allows for another kill back. It's all into Sigma. Started off the round with a big double kill, but needs a couple more if they want to get Syria back into it. But Jordan will find themselves the 4th. This is starting to spiral. It's not good. I don't know. I mean, at this point, Syria will have to purchase in with a pretty meager buy. I don't like the feeling in the pit of my stomach at this point right now, Neo, because Jordan looks to extend this game and then some.
Yes, no, exactly. This is, yeah, it's been a little weird. It's been a little weird for sure. 7-4 though. If Jordan make it 5, like I said. Not bad. In the corner, Black Eagle avoid. Only rifle in this round, so he's really got to do quite a lot of the heavy lifting. Unless they give too many close range fights to the MP9s. You'd hope they expect not to. Oh my god. Jumping around. A little wild there. Could have been problematic. Thankfully, nothing comes of it.
Well then. It's the game plan here from Jordan. These late mid-control takes have been good. Sprontos and Hunter have been finding some success. But there is a double setup here to potentially trade that out. Really needs to keep his wits about him on this take. But actually disassemble. They leave Tax to his own devices. And KD goes down with some aggression off the B stairs. So Razel gets Jordan themselves another 5v4. Now this defense is going to be just spread so thin. Realize Bashar, they do everything in their power to get Jordan their 5th. And it looks like the beginning of the end as far as this round is concerned. But the lineup is there for Spawns as he doubles up. 1v2 is doable for Tax, especially considering he's got this potential flank. That's the bomb. Oh, a shoulder spotted. Glock out. And now it's all up to Razel. They know he was in middle, or at least at the bottom of the B stairs. And that sound cue must be heard by Tax. 10 seconds left on the clock. I don't think there's time to even get back to the bomb site. This round is over.
Yeah. You're right. There's no time. Just stay alive, Tax, and you have won this round. And he will tuck his head, and that's it. So 8-4. It looks a lot better than 7-5 for Syria, but it's still a questionable ending is probably the way I'm going to go about it. Just Jordan, in kind of their sense, the sort of their own worst enemy, basically, you know, not keeping track of the time. The comms a little cluttered. The trades were pretty janky. No two ways about it. 8-4. I don't know about you though. My vibes are still a little bit off with Syria. I know they've got a decent lead here, but it still just doesn't. That end didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, I feel like they are really thanking their lucky stars that the double aggression at bottom ramp netted them the number of kills that they did. I don't know, man. This pistol actually has a lot riding on it. I think that Jordan, a comeback is very doable here on the CT side if they can convert here. Again, a reminder that Jordan are playing for their tournament lives as far as this game is concerned. We'll lose this and they are most certainly out. If they win, they have a chance to qualify to that land in Chengdu. Kills go back every which way on ramp. As Syria have got themselves a 4v4 to rest on with 1:15 on the clock.
It's quite off the back of that initial bit of contacts. Pumping those brakes, waiting for a chance. A minute to work with. So Black Eagle wants to set the tone. He will double back to join them over towards short here. And Sigma will fly out. Spawns for the first. Sprantos falls. That's big. The bomb will go down, but right away, it's a nice shot, and he makes it too. Hang on. We're working with something. Tax answering back for one of his own, though. 2 versus 2 ensues, and a very strong post plant. The CT side, A, don't have a kit. B, don't have any util. This feels now impossible. They've got to isolate fights, and they don't go favorably. Hunter will fall. They know one's towards sandbags, and credit to Basha, hits the shot. The time's ticking. He's got to stick this, and he will. Oh my god, he gets off it. No, he gets off it. He actually, I think if he held it, he might have had a chance there, in all fairness. Black Eagle was expecting a tap, and I think a little bit of a mistake as Bashar kind of pulls off.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there for Bashar, but even then, eventually the internal timing must have gone off, and if he swings, then that's just round over, if Bashar ever gets off the bomb, so it's a tough situation. I mean, let's see what Jordan have in response. They're not going to go for a full purchase. They've invested in a couple pistols, a little bit of armor. I really don't like any sort of investment in these kinds of rounds, but hey, it's worked before for Jordan. But this is potentially double digits available for Syria. They passed the test of that pistol, and now they are absolutely knocking on the door of their first win here.
Tax 2 for him. These pistols being kind of masked a little bit. One of them towards Jen. Oh my god, let's put the nades in the back pockets, fella. Tax will get another one. Coming through the Galil. Doing good work in all fairness. The nade over. Should be a pretty simple see off as KD will answer one of his own with that Mac 10. But a kill bonus too. You're not going to complain about at all. 1v4. It's not going to happen. Any exits he gets will be nice, but we will see.
Realize would love a kill here. Maybe scoop up a gun. But he does. He does find the kill, but he doesn't find the rifle, so it's unfortunate. But any investment is good reinvestment here for Syria. I mean, you look at the situation now. They do have a Mac 10 on KD. Sigma will have probably a Galil at this situation. And Jordan have an opportunity to try and collapse in. But look, that little bit of investment, you know, you look at Realize now in an MP9 and Sprantos on a FAMAS, that could have been a FAMAS and an A1S. So
true.
I really think about those kinds of investments and ask, was it worth it?
I'm with you, man. It is one of those where, especially in hindsight, it's like, does it actually make the most sense? Molotov and an aid on the corner. Realize, oh my god. Push out in front, and he actually will get the kill onto Spawn. I thought Spawns might catch him off. Around the U-Tour, a lot of missed fights here, though, for Syria. It's looking like Jordan are about to take a round in their favor after potentially even a long time coming. Flash in the corner. Ooh, Tax will get one. They don't know our Basher backside, and he'll get the first. Looking for the second. Just buying time for the rotation in a very labored spray. Rizel sees it off. A little chaotic, but yeah, Syria just overfighting in that one. They give way too many opportunities over towards Jordan, and Jordan take them. You can't complain. That's all they're there to do. When the rounds are even, it feels pretty Syria kind of sided. They're making them work, but when Syria are gifting the kills like that, I'll take them all day.
This is one of those rounds where we saw that huge comeback on Ancient and then the comebacks on Anubis. It starts with rounds like that. Overconfidence, overzealousness in how they just give away rounds, and then they can't battle back when the going gets tough. And that was when they had a lot of money, or they didn't have a lot of money. Excuse me. Now KD just has this solo hero rifle, and that's about it. They're giving Jordan room back in and giving them a 6th round.
Sprantos, he finds Black Eagle through that smoke. I think it's probably a sign of things to come in this round. Tax gets caught. Nice easy clearance by Realize. He had someone on the top ramp as well covering him, so he knew he could go for that peak. No real issues. KD. Let's get one. Hero AK. Got to really live up to that name and deliver on the goods in this one. Flash is good, but KD stays alive in the smoke. I say that. It's only for a moment. This one's done. Yes, Spawn's got the AK, but it's this man behind. See it off. Realize for a double. Nice and easy.
Well, there you go. Now Syria, very important round again here where you have limited buys and you want to make sure that you're getting a lot out of them. Again, it's basically 2 buy rounds between now and an even game.
Let's see. 10-6. Yeah, we've got at least a bit of a conversation on our hands here. First fighting towards mid. It's actually probably not going to be much of a fight. It's just information. Drop the util. Simple as that. But on the CT side, Jordan have looked considerably more comfy in terms of how they're approaching a lot of these rounds. He comes down. Bit of a spam behind it, but again, Syria look a little lost in terms of how to approach ramp. Once they got that deep lurk smoke coming through, they have to look elsewhere. 1 for 1. Hunter. It's not bad because Black Eagle then brings the numbers in favor of Syria. Now they've got a group together. Just play off each other.
Yeah, this is every opportunity in Syria's favor at this point. And they've slowed it down. They're forcing in re-aggression. Realize, Razel, they're collapsing in, but the trade is there. It's through the yellow side, and there's no way for Realize to really be able to trade, and Bashar was actually there. There was a lineup available, but Syria will still capitalize. They'll find themselves their 11th, and they should be able to at least put Jordan's money on the back foot. There's not going to be a pretty buy here, but they will purchase in considering the scoreline.
It's getting to the point of that sort of now or never, though, isn't it? You know, the full buy about to come in. If they can't convert it here, I think it's probably where we can safe to say and kind of call it maybe. This is going to be close. We're getting triple M4, 1 FAMAS, MP9, but at least the full bulk of util coming out. I have to see, but yeah, I'm not feeling too confident about their chances. Nade in the corner, trying to do some damage. And we'll do a good job. Bashar is burning to a crisp. Flash around the corner is great. They surely know about Bashar. They do, and a double entry by Sigma. That might be kind of the beginning of the end here, potentially.
That's a big kill for Razel. Maybe makes him think back away into this round, but at this point now they're just bleeding out resources. Realize will fall. And now, Razel and Sprontos, they're just trying to head for the hills. They're trying to hold on to what they have because this was all the chips in the middle of the felt. And now, they don't really have an opportunity to respond back. Oh my goodness, Razel might be caught right here as well. But okay, he lives. Upgrades to an A1S as well. I don't know why he's going back to B stairs. Okay, but he lives. So sure, fair enough.
Yeah. Somehow escaped. 12-6 though. Map and series point Syria. They've had to work for this. You know, we can say that without a doubt, but all in all, they've got so they got so many advantages in their court right now, whether it's monetarily, the rounds in hand, the confidence, momentum, everything. I can't see a world in which this doesn't go in their favor. Say that though, an MP5. Not often you see that gun, in all fairness. Gets the opening kill towards Tax.
Oh my god, that is actually insane. That not only he landed the burst, but he lives to tell the tale. Crazy stuff here. Boost up in middle to potentially find out. Realize he actually spots Spawns first, but either way, Spawns wins out the duel. There's still a 4v4. Mid control established. It's just Bashar on that MP5. But he's actually deeper. It's Hunter to take that first contact. A falling Black Eagle will fall. KD is there for the trade. Oh my goodness. This is just absolute carnage. Players all around the Syrian attack. And this pause is just such a well-timed pause because they're getting kills all the way back in. But Sprontos with a 2-for-1. And at least Sigma in the clutch. He doesn't have the bomb, I don't think. Yeah, the bomb is dropped in middle. And they should just be able to establish a crossfire and win the round here, Jordan.
Surely. Sigma, he hasn't even got a lot of time either. 35 seconds to try and make this one work for him. Smoke gonna come down as well. Good luck. No util. No idea. It's not happening. It's not happening at all. Sigma, am I trying to creep on the edge of the... No way. There's a little gap. A tiny gap. Like ships of the night. They're walking into each other. Oh! They've got to realize he's making noise. What is happening? He's got the first. Looking for the second. 10 seconds. He's got to tuck his head. And he picks the right side to stay alive. Sprantos. Good round from him. 3 kills to his name. Oh my god. That was considerably closer than what it should have been. But a 12-7. It's better than nothing. Jordan is still alive. But, you know, Syria just got right back into a bye. No real issues. Maybe bar a little bit of a lesser investment from Tax, I think. Is probably going to have to go to, yeah, Galil. There we go. So Galil, half armor, or full armor even, and a bit of util. Still, Jordan, not dead just yet.
Whew, I mean, skin of their teeth there. Jordan still have an opportunity to answer back. 5 rounds needed here on this defense. Sprantos teed up for 1. Spawns offers up his life. And Sprantos wants to kind of go for more. And that's a little overzealous. Gives the kill right back to Sigma. And we're into a 4v4.
Okay. Wow, Sigma's given one there. I realize. And the trade is all that matters. I was worried that he might get that kill and fall away, but you're right? You know, it's a long rotate over towards the side, but at the same time, Syria are taking their time. Smoke comes over, though. That's going to now give them some coverage. Hunter, you don't want to go through it. The Molly does airburst there, in all fairness, but you don't really want to go through the smoke. You're 50 seconds as well as Tax making a little move. I don't know. Is he going to try something audacious? Please, no. Now it's not the time. Play it safe. Smoke's fading. Or about to in just a moment.
Oh my god.
They are so open. So open. And what is going on? They're so open. Where do they think Jordan are? I'm so confused here. Syria, 2 of them were open to that peak, but then at the same time, how's Jordan not seeing them? I'm so confused. Oh my god, where do they think Jordan are? They had to have thought they were on rafters. Somebody's miscomm
That's what it was.
Yeah, somebody's miscomm and said that somebody's on rafters. It was wrong. But thankfully, it doesn't punish Syria, and they do see off the map in the series. Wild ending. I think, obviously, in the server it's different, but in hindsight, that looked like comical. Just completely everybody was looking the wrong way. Syria see it off, though, and it is a big, big series for them to be taking. It now really gives them an opportunity to qualify towards the LAN in Chengdu. Of course, they've got a game straight after this as well, right? Playing against Lebanon. Win that, and they guarantee. I mean, even if they lose, but it's by... Oh, no, they have to win, actually. Lebanon have already got to win.
They had a big margin here, though, is the thing,
True.
right? Oh, you're saying...
Lebanon will never win. So it's actually, basically, that best of 3 is to decide it. I mean, it won't even be on stream, that one, in all fairness. It's Qatar, Palestine's going to be on stream. But, at the same time, Palestine, if they get that win, they guarantee their spot as well. So, yeah, pretty interesting. That's actually a really cool best of 3, though, between Lebanon and Syria. They're 2 very competitive sides. Winner of that goes to Chengdu. It's sick.
Yeah, I mean, an opportunity to go to Chengdu, again, we spoke about how important that LAN environment it is for underrepresented countries to get an opportunity to play on that stage, have a chance to qualify for the main event, the main championship. So huge stuff in the grand scheme of things, and it's just a couple of BO3s to decide. So very happy that Syria kind of got their act together, mentally reset, and shut things down here. Unfortunate for Jordan, but we do have to say goodbye to them. Going 0-2 in their group of death, I'd like to say. But honestly, it was always going to be decided by a bunch of very close rounds, and that's kind of what we got today in this final series as well.
Yeah, exactly that. Simple as. And as these kind of highlights roll through, you can see at times just how one-sided they did feel in the server as well. I mean, really good work coming through from Syria for the bulk part. There was, you know, a couple of kind of crazy rounds. This one in particular, in all fairness, where they got their 7th, Jordan, but in the end, arguably even kind of crazy one in response coming through from Syria to close it out. So, yeah, you know, we have to say goodbye to Jordan. A team on paper who actually had a lot to kind of bring to this. You know, some decent names and some guys who, you know, actually played some good Counter-Strike, but, you know, in the end, it wasn't to be. Here's that at the end of it. 15 kills for Realize was pretty decent. Sprentos with 17, and it does peter off a little bit off that. 19 for Sigma was very good, but it spawns again with 23. I mean, he was top kills in map 1, top kills in map 2, and just second in map number 2. I mean, he's without a doubt the MVP off the back of that series.
He pulled it together. He pulled it together and then some. And you've also got to give credit to KD. I think on Ancient did significant amount of damage. And just the bounce back from that performance on Anubis is a lot to be desired. It made me very excited about him and watching him moving forward. So a lot to like about Syria. A lot of consistency needed from them. I think that we definitely saw a lot of up and down performances from both the sides. But Syria eventually kind of battened down the hatches, lessened the mistakes a little bit more, and got the job done. So credit to them. Now they have an opportunity to qualify to Chengdu. Excited for them.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be very good. There's one more best of 3 that's going to be on the screens. We've got, again, a pretty good one. This one has qualification on the line in kind of a multitude of ways as well. Qatar had a rough showing against Iran. They went 0-1 currently. Pakistan are 1-0. If Pakistan win, they get themselves a spot. Simple as that. If they lose, it opens it up to round difference where it's pretty good over towards Iran. So who knows? Potentially, you know, if Qatar pull off an upset, they could actually end up gifting kind of Iran that spot towards Chengdu. You have to wait and see. It's going to be script jumping on for me off the back of that one. I'm going to take my break. So for now, we're going to throw it to a break. We'll see you after.